We will be having a lo-fi. Okay, let me just check and make sure that this is on the thing. What is this? My phone's telling me I'm live. My phone just told me. My phone said you're live. Oh bugger, I didn't check the editor of the thing. Oops, it's the wrong one. Oops. That's the wrong one. Oh no. It's the wrong one. Okay. We'll start in 2 minutes. Starting soon. 2 minutes. I had the wrong one on. What's wrong? Okay, thank you so much for joining me for the pre-show. Could you hop over to the YouTube stream and see if you can hear me? Tell me about my audio levels. And I'll see you in the main show. Thank you, Kike. Thank you, Mousy, for joining me for the pre-show. See you in the main show. How's my levels? Mousy, go over to the main show. How's my levels? 1 2 1 2. Check 1 2. I have to check on the stream. Check 1 2. Let me see. Self, so I can help. Pause that for 1 second. Pause that one there. You have to hear me okay, right? Okay, 1 minute and we'll start. So we've got Twitter. I'm just going to FF7 lo-fi going. There's nobody in chat. Please let me know if you can hear me okay. Anybody in chat. And then we'll get started. The lo-fi will go off when we start. voice is very low. Thank you for letting me know, Kike. We're gonna turn off that lo-fi. Voice is very low. Let me just make sure my gain is up. Mic. I'll put the gain up a little. 1 2 1 2. How about now? I mean, I'll speak up a little bit as well. I can't put that much now. I can turn this down, of course. What about now? 1 2 1 2. Check 1 2. Is it okay? Much better, can hear. Okay then. We're ready to get started. Wow, this is really lagging. Oh no, I didn't have my thing set up on here. Sorry, 1 second. I don't have the bars up. There we go. And Discord. Is that the right one? Oh no, that's the wrong one. What one is this? Discord. Discord, so we're not going to show Discord right now. Okay, now we're ready to get started. Sorry about that. I'm going to turn down the lo-fi. This is Final Fantasy VII Lo-Fi made by Rifty Beats. It's a really, really good mix. Part 1 and 2 of... Well, I prefer part 2. But part 1 does have the remix of the Victory Fanfare, which I absolutely adore. I love that track. That's my favourite one out of all of them. So yeah, do check out Rifty Beats Final Fantasy VII Lo-Fi. They make a lot of other lo-fi as well, so it's pretty good. So thanks everyone for being patient. As we get started on another Game Corner Shop, I'm not sure if I should say like another episode of Game Corner Shop or just like it's Game Corner Shop live, or I don't know. I haven't really like worked all that out, but you know, let's just go with the flow. Let's just go with the flow. And there's actually like a lot of news because a lot of stuff broke late in the week, including like financial results and the news about the ABK Microsoft deal and what happened there. And we had previews for I was almost gonna say Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom. So there's some other stuff that I had on the back burner that, you know, saved up topics, but we're going to do them for another week. And I know people wanted me to do for example, the Nintendo tier. They wanted me to do a Nintendo tier list. And there's other things just in general I want to talk about. Just the massive L's that Square Enix keeps taking all the time. So L after L after L after L with that company. I wanted to talk about that and the AI thing, which is an L. What I can talk about now is an L. I can tell you right now it's an L. Okay. Let's stop the lo-fi. Okay, we're going to start with the Famitsu sales because what we ended up having was a very, very, very slow week. And the reason for this being a very, 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 very slow week is because it's the week before Golden Week, which is like, as the name implies, like a week-long holiday period in Japan. I believe it's like it's 2 or 3 different holidays all in the same week or something. I think that one's Emperor's birthday or Children's Day or something. I can't remember. I don't know. But there's a whole bunch of holidays, and so there's just a whole week of holidays. They get a whole week of holidays. They call it Golden Week. So what always happens is that people kind of save up their money and everything for Golden Week. did like holiday shopping and so on. So that usually happens in Golden Week. Especially people have more free time. They're going out shopping. They're doing all sorts of leisure activities and stuff like that. So the week before, this happens every year. It's always slow. It's always really slow. So that's basically what's happened. This is like the lull before the storm, because we have like just releasing basically this. I somehow I got my Zelda OLED early. I got it like yesterday morning. It was like, how did you get that? What are you doing? The Nintendo Ninjas are coming after you. And I'm like, no, I got this legitimately. And Amazon just sent it to me. I didn't even realize. So I was like, hang on, when I got it, I was like, wait, hang on, is this come out yet? So I thought, because I was kind of confused when I was genuinely confused. I'm like, is this actually out? But it turns out it was like the day, it was meant to come out today, at least here in Europe. Someone said to me that in Japan it's out tomorrow. I don't know, but basically, you got people buying the Zelda OLED, which just released. So then we're gonna see what we won't see. This is the thing. We're gonna have to wait 2 weeks for the next Famitsu sales, because it's a holiday next week, so we won't get Famitsu will be off. They will be off, so we won't have the results. So we have to await for that. Oh, hello, welcome, Ethan Jory, howdy, welcome so much. Well, thank you so much. Gamekiller 64, hello, welcome. Love to see the PS5 selling so well. It was bound to happen when they finally got their stock situation in order. Yes, we are going to talk about that, because they had a record-breaking Q1. Very, very impressive sales. So yeah, we're going to talk about that. And Ethan Jory also says, low software sales on PS5 are odd, but might be due to the popularity of free-to-play and live service titles, as well as the current economic downturn worldwide. Yes, those are definitely factors, and we can look at I'm planning to look at the Sony financial results. We're going to look at that and see, because I think they did say, I think there's information about their software the services in there, and so we can see about what their overall gaming revenue is. So we can look at that. I am not a sales guru. I'm not a sales guru. I'm just a geek. I'm just a regular person who's just a complete nerd about sales. So yeah, basically. So let's start with the Famitsu sales. Like I said, we're not going to get any for 2 weeks. Let's savor the Famitsu sales that we have now. So we're not going to get any more for 2 weeks. So, number one is Mega Man Battle Network Collection. And it did extremely well. This is hang on, I've got the right week, right? I was getting confused now. What? This is not even this week. Hang on. Oh, this is Right, sorry. I was looking at the wrong week. The wrong week. I was like, wait a minute. That didn't come out this week. Okay. No. Not Mega Man Battle Network Collection was last week. This week was Minecraft Legends. I knew it looked wrong. Mega Man did do very well though. So, we had a new release of Minecraft Legends. Now this is a very slow week. Minecraft Legends, the Switch version, managed to get to the top of the chart with just 13,490 units. Not only that, but the sell-through was not that great. There's still a green bar, so it's okay. Like, it's not crazy. If the bar, when it's like really full up, it's like, oh, okay, it's not. So it's not the best. I think clearly retailers were maybe expecting a bit more out of this one. And then I'm thinking about maybe legs will be better for this one. Having seen how it's kind of collapsing at like Amazon, I'm not holding out that much hope for the legs of this. And I think it might be a case of, in my opinion, that people love Minecraft. It's always in the chart. You see it in the chart right here, like just normal regular Minecraft, which is over 3 million physical on Switch alone. Don't forget, it's on every single platform. So this is just physical on Switch. So I think it's just that people just like the base game, and these other games, like there was the other one. What was the other one called? Minecraft Dungeons. And then they've done it again. They've made Minecraft Legends, but this time it's like a strategy game, right? It's a real time strategy type thing. But people are like, well, I just want to play Minecraft where you build and like make things and have it in a sandbox environment. This is like a PvP, like I think you can play it PvE, but it's PvE in there. And yeah, people don't want just an RTS with a Minecraft skin. I think they just want Minecraft. So I think that's the reason for this sales of this. And we'll see that this. Now there's a PS5 version of this game in the chart. I don't know if this game was released. I'm assuming it was released on PS4, but I don't think there's a PS4 version in this chart. So if you know if there was a PS4 version, please let me know, because otherwise I'm not sure if they just. I wouldn't have thought they would have just put on PS5 and not PS4. But there you go. Very, very slow week. This is a weak debut, a very weak debut for this game, and in a weak week, to get to the top with so little sold. Because the next after that, we have Kirby Return to Dreamland, and which sold 7.6 thousand. This game came out. When did this game come out? It's weeks ago. I don't remember when this came out now. But yeah, it's only around half of Minecraft Legends. So you can see how Minecraft Legends really just didn't do well. And number 3, we have Pokemon Scarlet and Violet with 7.5 thousand. 4 is Mario Kart 8 Deluxe with 7.4 thousand. And then we have Mega Man. It's a completely different name in Japan, isn't it? But yeah, it's in the West. It's Mega Man Battle Network Collection. That's number 5, sold 6.3 thousand. Number 6 is Splatoon 3, 6,000. Number 7 is Minecraft, that's 5.8 thousand. Number 8, it's interesting. This is a physical release of Cuphead. I don't know if this is the first. I'm assuming this must be the first physical release of this game in Japan. Maybe there wasn't, because I think there's a physical that was already released in the West, I think. So maybe this is the first physical of this game in Japan. It sold 4,000, but the sell-through was terrible. So there's just copies of this sitting around on shelves. Basically, they were, maybe they was expecting this. How much? If you assume that's like 20% and there's 80%, maybe they thought like 20,000 was gonna sell of these. So yeah, they maybe some. There could be maybe 16,000 of these sitting around on shelves, if this sell-through is anything to go by. Or maybe I'm working out wrong. I'm not sure. 4,000 sold. 80% of the bar left. 20% sold. So you'd have to times that by 5, right? To get what the 100% would have been. And 4 times 5 is 20. So I think maybe there's 60. There could be 16,000 copies sitting around on shelves. Could be. Let me just check. I haven't seen if you're saying anything in chat. So if you have, I apologise. Oh, you did say stuff. Oh no. Can I pop this out? Pop out chat. Pop out. Pop it out. Okay, oh no, not big like that. Let's see. Hello Zembly TechPad. Hello and happy Friday, everybody. Hello. Ethan Joy. Kirby Sweep. Yes. I think the other. What was the other Kirby game? Forgotten Land. I think it's also in the chart. Mega Man has stock issues, right? It did. So I did notice that on Amazon Japan, like I think I looked yesterday, and the Mega Man collection had shot back up to the top, like near Zelda. So I think it had got stock in. So yeah, Cuphead. I honestly think there could be like 16,000 copies of this sitting around on shelves, which isn't great. Sorry, I'm just taking a Strepsil so I don't lose my voice. So at number 9 we have the PS4 version of Resident Evil 4 remake. Sorry about that. And that sold an additional 3.8 thousand. Number 10 we have Nintendo Switch Sports. That sold 3.7 thousand. Some component of that. I think there's a bundle, maybe of that. I don't see the bundle come up very often, like on, for example, looking on Amazon or whatever, but it does exist. And so let's look. Just come on this one here. There's a couple of new releases. Let's come on this one. Puyo Tetris 2. The reason this has come up in it, like it's just suddenly there again, is because there was like a VTuber tournament, a HoloLive VTuber tournament. The HoloLive is like pretty much, I think, the most famous or the most well known and famous, most popular VTuber group, VTuber like network, different VTubers, and they had a tournament, and so this just went into the chart again basically. This game, Akiba's stripped 2 director's cut. So this game had already come out before. So this is I'm assuming it's like a re-release with like extra content. That sold 2,000. That completely sold right through. Oh, it was almost 3,000 actually, 2.8 thousand. Number 13. Right there. We still, notably, Breath of the Wild still in the chart, number 15, even though the next game is about to come out. 2.5 thousand. Number 16 we have the PS5. This is where the PS5 version is of Resident Evil 4. 2.4 thousand. What was the other one? 3.8 thousand. So yeah, the PS4 version selling stronger. What's the total here? 123,680. Did this one go past it? Yeah, so the PS4 version is now outselling the PS5. It sold more in total and is outselling it. So outselling the PS5 version, PS4 version. So the transition from PS4 to PS5 is very, very stilted in Japan. This is a very, very lot. I mean, look, this is it, like in the West, mostly PS4 sales have collapsed, and most people are now on PS5. But in Japan, it's taking a lot longer for various reasons. Oh, this is another new release. Hatena Tower, the Tower of Children. I think this is some sort of RPG. Anyway, that's the number 20, sold 1.6 thousand. Sell-through, not the best, but I mean, this is a, you know, Shueisha Games, like, Shueisha, I'm sure they publish a manga and stuff. So I think they opened up like a gaming division or something. So, I think this is one of their first games. And here's the PS4 version of Akiba's Keeper's Trip 2 director's cut. 1.5 thousand with a good sell through. The other one, the Switch version may have sold out. I'm not sure what happens. It's just like red, so maybe that one sold out. I don't know. I don't know how the supply is for that. And yeah, so this is what I was referring to. So this is the PS5 version of Minecraft Legends, and as you can see, it just like it sold. The sell-through is terrible. This is at number 27. This sold 1.3 thousand. Minecraft Legends PS5 version. But you can see there's the bottom of the chart. So is there a PS4 version of this game that didn't chart, or is there no PS4 version and it's only on PS5? I actually don't know. So yeah, maybe someone in chat can let me know if there was a PS4 version. I mean, I imagine there would be, but anyway, it's not in this chart, so we can only go for what we're seeing in the top 30, and I don't see it here. But yeah, it's a very bad sell through, and this is gonna drop out the chart. This will drop out the chart next week. Not entirely sure of the reason why this is so. Why the sell through and the sales is so bad on PlayStation 5. My guess would be it's just people that have a PlayStation 5. It's not really the style of game they want to play. I mean, it's barely. Look, it didn't even do well on Switch. I mean, I wouldn't say that's well. It did better. It did like almost 10 times better, but it's not good. 13,000. But it did better than this. 1.3 thousand. So, yeah, that'd be my guess. It's just, it's possibly not the style of game people want to play, or it doesn't appeal. It doesn't appeal to people on PlayStation 5 as much. And here's a PS4 version of Mega Man, Rockman, whatever, I don't care. Whatever it's called. Why do they have to give it different names? It's dumb. Yeah, so that's an additional 1.3 thousand on PS4, which that particular game, I don't think there was a PS5 version. I think it was only PS4. Which makes more sense than only having a PS5 version of a game. So we got that, and yeah, those are the noticeable things that I wanted to talk about. Now, Jago's in there saying Xenoblade Sweep. Jago, get into the actual show, please. Jago, why are you messing around on the Discord? Where are you? Where Jago? I can't see. Live chat. Are you in the live chat? Jago's in there. Okay, Xenoblade Sweep. Can you please explain the Xenoblade Sweep? Where's the Xenoblade Sweep? I don't see. I know there was a DLC that came out and you really liked the DLC. I see Xenoblade fans going crazy over it. But that's not got anything to do with what we're talking about right now. You're in bed playing Xenoblade. Congratulations, Jago. No, I'm joking. I'm glad you're having a good time. Kika says, I think Capcom even said buy the digital version. Are you talking about Mega Man? Yeah, I think it's sold out, right? So they said buy the digital version. Is that what happened? It's sold out. As you should. It's a great game. They're messing around in the live chat in the Discord. They're in the Discord. I'll drop a link for the Discord. This is why I need a bot to drop the link for me. Invite people. I'm gonna make it invite. I'm gonna make it invite now. And I'm coming to drop it in chat. So if you want to join the Discord, there's the link. And you can see what those folks are up to over there, messing around. Right. So that was software. Very slow, as you can see. The game at the bottom, he said the threshold to get into the top 30 was only around 1,364 or 1,365. You need one more to get in. And with that low threshold, there's very little PlayStation software. And we're going to talk about that because of the hardware. So let's look at this hardware. Oh yeah, this is my little post. We'll look at this hardware here. And because it's the week before Golden Week, it's kind of a bit more slower than normal. And I actually thought Switch hardware would drop because people were like waiting. I thought people would wait for the Zelda OLED. But it seems that there's a bunch of people who are like, nah, don't care. I just want any Switch, and they're not waiting for the Zelda OLED. Because this is from last week's sales, right? So I'm like, if you're in the market to buy a Switch right now, why would you not wait for this? Just wait another week and get the Zelda one. In fact, you can pre-order it now. Why not just wait and then get the Zelda one? So something is that they just didn't want it. You know, some people just don't. They just want a regular Switch, I guess. So, but yeah, that kind of remains steady. PS5 has dropped a little, but still very high. And I think Xbox is dead. So let's have a look. So Nintendo Switch sold 51.8 thousand this week, and last week was 48.7 thousand, so it's up a little. PlayStation 5 sold 41.7 thousand this week, and last week was 47,000, so that's down a little bit as well. PS4, I mean, it's like half of last week, but as we know, this is a discontinued platform. And Xbox Series is up on last week, like double, but really with these low numbers, so it was this week it's 488 Xboxes. 488. Of that, 376 were the Series X and 112 were the Series S. So I don't know what's going on there. I mean, last week it was 296, but this week, I mean, you could say it's gone up, but I mean, when the numbers are this low, I think it's just irrelevant, really. Now let's take a look more closely. Of the Nintendo Switch, so we're talking about obviously OLED, 51.8 thousand sold. 39,000, almost 40,000 were the OLED. So like, yeah, those are people that just did not want to wait for a Zelda OLED. So presumably they don't want it. That's the only thing I can think of. When you do look at Amazon, you see that there's multiple SKUs of Switch on there, on top of the bestsellers chart, and there's like just the regular OLEDs as well. So people are just happy to get a regular OLED, don't necessarily want the Zelda one, I guess. So that's that. And then for the PlayStation 5, of 41.7 thousand, 33.5 thousand were the regular disc version. Now, I always say that because really the name for the official name is just PlayStation 5. It's not PlayStation 5 with disc or PlayStation 5 disc. It's just PlayStation 5. But if I say that, people are not going to be 100% sure that I mean just the disc version. Whereas the digital, the one without the disc, is called the digital editions, DE. Right? That's why I always specify. That sold 8,000 for the digital edition. So we had 33,000 PlayStation 5 sell, PlayStation disc with a disc drive, and I feel like its sales are represented in the hardware sales are represented in the software sales at all. Because in the top 10, I believe there's only one PlayStation game, and it's a PS4 game as well. It's not even a PS5 game. So it's PS4 version of Resident Evil 4. And this, oh my god, this is where we need niche barrier. This site, who made this site? So who made this site is a genius. Absolute genius. Hang on, that's Comeg, not Comeg. Sales, right. We're going to look at niche barrier. Oh, I forgot. Is this big enough in general? Like, can you all see it? I'm sorry, I should have made sure that it's big enough. Hang on, close this thing down here. Okay. Yeah. So you can all see this, right? Do I need my giant pointer again? I know some people are like, why do you have a giant pointer, Jodie? Well, it's so people can see where I'm pointing, obviously. So get the giant point. I'm going to get the giant. I'm going to bring back the giant pointer. I'm going to bring it back. How do I do it again? I think it's the ease of access. Oh, here we go. The giant pointer. Can you see the giant pointer? That helps, right? So you can see stuff. Okay. Minecraft Legends. So this is this week. There's Cuphead. Now what we want to do is scroll down and look at the software sales and comparing it with last week as well. So here's this week giant map. It says what? It's called a pointer, Kike. It's called a pointer. It's called a pointer. The mouse is the thing that I'm holding, isn't it? Oh, Jago had a question. Do you think Switch sales will see a big bump in next week's sales results, considering the Zelda OLED will be out? I think it will be a bump. The bump, I'm not sure. So there will be a bump because the Zelda OLED's out and it's Golden Week. And the other thing to consider is we won't get the results next week. We won't actually get the results next week. It'll be the week after that. So we'll get 2 weeks results. So it will be up because we'll have next week and the week after of like just pre-Zelda because when is Zelda? Yeah, Zelda's out in 2 weeks. So we'll get the results the day before. So I believe Zelda's out on a Friday. So I think we will get the Famitsu results the day before Zelda actually comes out. Sorry, excuse me. So I think there will be a bump. I'm not sure how big the bump. I don't know about like really big bump, but what we'll see is because it's 2 weeks until Zelda comes out, but the OLED comes out in advance because I guess they wanted to time it with Golden Week basically. This is why they did that. And that's also why the Mario movie just released today, I think, today in Japan. I don't know, basically it's the end, it's like the middle of the night there right now, but yeah, I think it released today in Japan. So they wanted to do all of this the time with Golden Week. So we will get the so Zelda's out in 2 weeks. So in 3 weeks we will get the results of Zelda coming out, and then the actual the Mario movie released today in Japan. Kika, yeah, that's right. So yeah, we'll get the results in 3 weeks. So I think, you know, what we could say, Jago, is there going to be a bump from like 3 weeks consistent bump, right? So we can look at the hardware. The hardware the last few weeks has been fairly like it's been right around that 50k baseline. And how much do I think a bump? There's definitely going to be a bump because of the Zelda OLED. What we can do is we can take a quick look at Amazon. I'm not signed into this thing, am I? Okay. It says United. That's not my address. Yes, I live in the UK. That's my address, UK. Okay, let's look. Let's see where it is. The Zelda. Oh, Armored Core. Armored Core. I didn't know it was up for pre-order. Oh, look. There's multiple. I guess yeah. That's the thing with the only thing is right with Amazon, because they have multiple SKUs of everything. It's like kind of It's a little bit annoying actually. When there's all these excuses. So I think did it sell out? Or maybe I need to sign in. Not sign in, but add an address. Or add this postcode. So everybody, if you want a postcode, 601-8501. That's what you need to add. Okay, so if you're in Japan, you can still pre-order this. This is the special edition for Armored Core 6. You can see you get a mech statue, some pins, art book, soundtrack, stickers. There's like a steel book, which I think is unusual for the collector's editions in Japan. I don't know, they always give out steel, but they always have steel books with them. So, oh, that's really interesting seeing that coming up on there. So there's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. What the hell? There's an even bigger one? What's this? This is a completely different mech. Oh, this is a mech with a little, like a, what do you call this? Like a base. An even bigger one. It's enormous. It's enormous. What is this? How much is that? Well, it says offers from 98,000 yen. Offers? Does it say that here? Hang on, 98,000 yen. How much is 98,000 yen? That seems excessively expensive. How much is that? 98,000 yen to what? It's £572? Excuse me? What the hell? That's even more expensive than that bloody Final Fantasy 16 special edition I got. Holy crap. Holy crap. Excuse me? That's how much it is? Whoa. And Jamie Jacob is like, Jesus Christ. That is more expensive than the Final Fantasy 16 one. I'll see it in US dollars for all my Americans. That's $720. What the hell? Is that how much it is everywhere? Good Lord. They're taking an absolute... I'm trying not to swear because I'm so shocked. I'm shocked, I tell you. I'm trying not to swear. What the hell? So that's like the super duper one that has a mech that's in a base. So if you can see this Jago, if you look at the stream, like the other one had a mech, but it didn't have this like stand thing with it. Like the other special edition, this one is like just a mech just standing there. In fact, the mech looks different. And that one is that one half the price? This one's half the price of that one, and all that one has is a stand. That one's half the price, Jago. This one is 47,999 yen. That's half the price, basically. It's almost 50,000 yen. So this is like £250 or... So this is half the price. How can that other mech be double? Well, this one's, yeah, I'd say... Jago, affordable, quote unquote, affordable. Jago says this one's affordable, quote unquote. Are you gonna get it? Are you getting it, Jago? I don't know if you're into Armored Core mechs and all that. So that mech, actually no, I tell you, the mech's the same. The only difference is that base. That it has this base on it. Like it's inside this thing. Oh, is it a PS4 version? They should be the same price though. Oh, this one's the PS4 version? Oh, but the PS5 version's here. It's the same price. Oh, actually, slightly more. Whoa, no, hang on. Let me just look at this. It's slightly more, actually. But I think that's just due to, like, Amazon's automatic, like, pricing thingamajigger. So this one, it's not sold by... Oh, yeah, this is why. Because it's not sold by Amazon. It's been sold by third-party seller M shops. So that's why this one's 49,500 yen. So it's about almost the same, but just assume it'd be like around the same part, like £250. £250. There's a lot. How does the mech on the base add so much more to the price? I can't imagine this. I wonder how big that is. Does it say how big the mech is? I don't say. There's no details. This doesn't have any. I mean, I can't read this, but it doesn't have any numbers in it. I think Mexico. I've never been into mechs. Not make games, not make anime, not make anything. So I'm just like, why are the robots shaped like people? Why would you have a giant robot and shape it? It's like the most inefficient shape you could possibly make it for something you want to be able to locomate. To locomate. Is that the right word? Locomotes. It's like it's literally the most inefficient thing. That's why when they're making these robots and things, if they ever make a robot that's walking on two legs, like a real one in like one of these, you know, like not Crystal Dynamics, like Massive Dynamic. Remember Massive Dynamic from Thrones? Oh, that remind me that Lance Reddick died recently, didn't they? That was a good show. Well, it went a bit weird, but it was. Oh, I thought my little heater was on. I got to put my little, because I always get chilled sitting over here by the window. So I've got my little oil heater radiator. Here, I've completely gone off the track again. How long have I been live? Oh my gosh, I can always do this. Oh, there's comments. Hang on, I'm missing everyone's comments. The comments. Wait. Hello, J2 Blue Engage. Armored Core hype. Yes, definitely Armored Core hype. People rushing out to get those collector's edition. Somebody's bought that. What was it again? £570 or $760. That's how much that is. Ethan's Joy says Japan is unmatched when it comes to taking all your Xenoblade income. Oh my god! I read that as Xenoblade because of it's a Xenoblade. Oh my god! Expendable income. What did I read that as Xenoblade? Oh my god! I got it on the brain because Jago is going on about it. J2 Blue says, heck nah, I ain't paying no 500, 700. J2, are you in the US? It's 700 and, what did I work it out? 700 and something dollars for the mech on the stand. Ethan Joy says, ignore your rent, utilities, groceries, and take out a store loan. Exactly, that's what you need. Like, you don't worry about the bills and eating. You don't need that for the next month. GameKiller64 says, I'm interested in Armored Core, but I don't know if I'm going to get that CE. I wonder, don't get how adds the garage to the figure wants the extra $200. I don't know. I don't think that stand is worth an extra $200. It's literally just a stand. Did you see it? It's like the same mech, but it's standing on it looks like it's like the base of like, it's supposed to be like the base of where you'd build your mech. You're holding us hostage. Who is? Not me. I'm not holding you hostage, Ethan. You're in the US. Okay, so the price of this. So what was it again? It's $720 for that one with the mech on the stand. Not this one, the other one. That's it. It just seems excessive to me. Anyway, I didn't know this was on here, so I didn't come to look at that. I came to look at the okay, so the Zelda OLED's actually here. So it is above the other ones. So yeah, that's all I wanted to check. So actually there's a regular OLED. There's a Splatoon one. And then there's another one. Yeah, that's the thing. Like I said, like Amazon has all these different SKUs, and ones with like a thing as well. You got like this. You keep seeing this spoon. Like I don't know. I don't understand why they're selling a spoon with. Like, why is this? Who's buying this bundle with a spoon and a control? I want that pro controller though. I haven't managed to. Not J2. Jago. Have you seen anywhere selling that pro controller yet? I want it. Okay, so I think it will add. Most people now are buying the Zelda OLED, so I think this will add to the sales. Yes, but I don't know how big. It could be quite big during like actual release week, because I imagine some people will be buying the game and the OLEDs together for that week, or they'll pre-order it from the week before or something like that. So yes, how much it could add, I don't know. Anything from 50 to 100,000 extra, I think it will add for that week that Zelda comes out. So yeah, I mean, I'm just that's just, you know, I'm just kind of guessing. I'm not really sure, but it could add, because if you think about the game is going to launch big, so it could add a lot. So it's impossible for me to work out though. Amazon play phones, of course. I think Mexico. Yeah, I've just never gotten into Mecha really. I don't know. Yeah, I guess you're referring to Xenoblade X, right? Or Xenoblade Crossover, it's called. My father gave me a small loan of $1 million. Sadly, I'm still looking for myself. Sadly, no, I'm still looking for myself. What do you mean, sadly, no, I'm still looking for myself, Jago? What does that mean? Got that base tax. Yes, it's a base tax on the base of that. So anyway, I kind of got off the top. I wanted to look at this software. You tell me where to get the Pro Controller, please, Jago. Where do I get? I need it. So this I got off track, but let's talk about this software situation a little bit. So we have here this week's this is this week's sales, and Niche Barrier is very nicely put this into a nice table for us. Everything all worked out here, absolutely fantastic. Shift kiss to this site. I love this site. So, oh, you're still looking for the site? Okay, Jago, you're still looking for the Pro Controller. Oh yeah, well, can you DM, if you find it, can you DM me, please? So, we have so it was a total of what? Yeah, 105,966 software. Thank you, Jago. So if we look at the total PS4, PS5 software, PS4 was 6% of the total, PS5 was 5%. So a total 11% of the software, 88% was Switch. Obviously there's a margin of error in there as well. So that's not good. It's gone up from last week. So the total is almost like 12,000, roughly 12,000 pieces of software, physical software, for a week where, let's have a look, 33,000 PlayStation 5s with a disk drive sold, with only like around 12,000 physical software sales. So that's what I mean about it's not looking good. Like, I don't know. You know, we've all put together, you know, hypotheses as to what we think is happening. I still think that the when I say scalping, I should say exporting, because there's no need to scalp it. Scalping is essentially evolving a middleman where somebody is buying up some goods and then you're buying it from them. So that, I don't think that is necessarily need to happen. I don't think that's happening anymore, because we've already seen the scalping has collapsed for buying it from scalpers within Japan. Nobody needs to anymore, because there's abundant supply. So I think that because of the abundant supply, that anyone who wants a PlayStation 5 that's not region locked, because remember the attraction is, one, it's cheaper because the yen's really weak, and two, it's not region locked to China. So people can probably just buy them directly. I don't know if they can, you know, might be able to buy them from Amazon or wherever direct. You just get it delivered. They can just get it. And they're obviously not just getting them from Japan. They're also getting them via Hong Kong and Taiwan and so on. But that's what's going on, and that's what's going on with the hardware and software for this week. We will not have any more software hardware sales for 2 weeks. So next week we'll probably do some tier lists and some extra slow news. Maybe we'll just have a whole show just roasting Square Enix. I don't know. We'll see. Might be just roasting Square Enix. I don't know. Let's see, because there's no hardware and software next week. If anyone wants to join me in the chat to come on the show and discuss the topics with me, you are welcome to do so. I've got a link to the Discord here that I'm going to drop into the chat again. And you can come and join me on the show. Let's look at your comments. GameKiller64. To be fair, Monolith Soft has taken most of my income these days, past few years. So Xenoblade series, those figures and soundtracks aren't cheap. What did you buy? You bought Xenoblade? There was figures? What figures? Those figures and soundtracks aren't cheap. Okay, there was a soundtrack that came out recently. I bought that for reasons. Collector's reasons, because I knew it was going to go rare. I bought it because it's going to go... Okay, there's an investment. You shush. An investment, that's why I bought it. Stop judging me. I need it. You want to know something's going to be rare like that, then I'm buying it. Well, I've got the Zelda order, because if you look back, go look now and go and try and get that Majora's Mask 3DS. Go and have a look right now. Go and look at the Majora's Mask 3DS. I'll rest my case. Okay. I'm going now. There was and the Game Boy, like, was it Advanced SP? Wasn't there like a Zelda Game Boy Advance SP? Go and look at the price of those right now. Right now. Go Google it. You understand. They go, it doesn't matter how many of them they make. They always go rare like that. They made a Cosmos Refrain Pirate Emit. Where? Send me some links to that. I haven't seen that. Not I'm going to buy it. I just want to see what they look like. Siren, a mech. Oh, cool. Xenoblade figures and soundtracks. You know, I'm glad Xenoblade's doing well, but it's such a niche franchise. I feel like it's getting more popular now. Spoon of the Kingdom! Genka, I'm ready to get my Tears of the Kingdom Pro controller and FF16 DualSense controller. Game Killer, that FF16 DualSense controller is exclusive to Japan. The only way to get it is going to be via a proxy service, right? Because I think it's exclusive to the PS Store in Japan. I think it's exclusive to that PS Store, which I don't think delivers outside of Japan. So in order to get it, you have to use some sort of proxy service. Someone can correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure they said it's exclusive to the PS Store in Japan. So yeah, you're going to have to see how you're going to get that. Now, there are various proxy services, but it adds on like a fat proxy service tax on top of that, as well as the import as well. So just be prepared for that, Game Killer. You can get it. There's ways to get it. You can definitely get it, but you have to be prepared to pay. J2 Blue Engage says, can I fuse the spoon to my controller so I can eat cereal while playing? That'd be good, isn't it? Yeah, I think this spoon's so weird. It's just a spoon with like Legend of Zelda engraved into it. Hang on one sec. So I just have to take some medication. You don't want to hear me doing that. Yeah, it's just a spoon with like the Legend of Zelda engraved into it. Where's my goddamn thing is? My eye drops. Okay. Did you send links to these? Oh my god. Where's that? Where did you put it? Where is it? Oh, you put it in here. Ooh, let's have a look. Cosmos. How do I open this on the other one? It opened up on the wrong one. Oh, no, hang on a sec. Hang on. How do I make it open up in the other bloody thing? Not that. Open. Oh, I'll just copy it. Copy. I'm gonna open this up in here, so you all can see. I'll put it here. Better not be anything rude on this page. Did I open the wrong thing? Oh, bloody hell. Not that one. Why did I do the wrong one? I just copy the link message. So we copy message link. Copy message link. Shouldn't that be this? Why did it come up as like Discord or whatever? Open app. Do you want to continue browser? No, it's just want me to sign in. Oh my god, I just want the goddamn link. Stop being dummy. I'm just trying to do that so everyone on the stream can see it, but it's like not cooperating with me. 1 second, please stand by. No, it's the same damn link. What the hell? That's dumb. Okay, oh, that's how I do it. Never mind, I did it. I have to be on the right window. It's the Jago, I did it. I managed it. Okay, this is Cosmos, who... I guess it says this is Good Smile made this in 2020. How much does this cost? 22,000 yen? How much is that in? So this is from the Nintendo Switch game from her parents in Xenoblade Chronicles 2. Although she was in I guess it was Xenosaga. Was it Xenosaga? Oh, here's the other ones. We just got links to them right here. They made a Neo one. There's a Neo. I can't get it any bigger than that. Oh, when you click it, it changes different angles. That's Neo. What was the other one? So here's did you buy all of these? That was 26,000 yen. Did you buy them all? This is what I'm saying. This is Bandai Namco owns Cosmos, but they put her in. This is her as her parents in Blade Chronicles 2, right? Not from the original Xenosaga. And then they made Pyra and Mithra. So here's Pyra. Click this, they got all different angles. There's the butt shot. And there's a close up. I'm keen on the way they made her face look, to be honest with you. And then here's them together. I did see these figures before because it wasn't they on a Smash Brothers Mr. Sakurai Presents or something, because he had this. I'll tell you what, Jago, I don't do this very often, but it was an emergency, alright? I pre-ordered the Pyra and Mithra amiibo from Amazon. Now I can explain. They are retail price. There was like what I think was retail price, like £29. Waiting for the Mio one. What, one of these figures? Or do you mean the amiibo? And then they have Melia Antique. What is it? Antica. So how many of these did you buy? Does one need all these figures? Does one really need. Is that grass fuzzy? Is she standing on? Does one really need all these? That's the question. Does one need these? I think you don't. Yeah, they haven't made that Mio one yet. There's no actual picture of it. It's just, I'm not gonna open that link because there's no. Do they have an image of like the actual figure, or is it just that? There's plenty of Cosmos, Xenosaga 1, 2, and 3 figures. Are there? And yes, I bought the Pyra. Oh my god. There you go. I bought the Pyra, Mithra, and Neo ones. Waiting for the Mio one. Yes, I need. Yes, I need them. No, you don't need them, Jago. You don't need. How do you need that amount of figures? Oh my gosh. You should post some pictures. Have you got some pictures of them? Oh, you got some pictures of them on your shelf? I pre-ordered Nia, Pyra, and Mithra. I love Xenoblade, clearly. Oh my god. It's too much! It's too much Xenoblade! I was still typing. Well, type faster! J2 Blue Engage says, I got the Xenoblade 3 OST, I know it wasn't cheap. But it's worth it. I bought it because, listen, I don't want to talk about it. Anyway. It's an investment. So this is what Jago spends his money on. These figures. Which, in terms of like this sort of figure, that's probably a reasonable price. Because these type of figures are kind of pricey, but these ones are probably on the more reasonable end of like being affordable, I think. Neo isn't out yet. Which one's that? Oh, this one, they haven't made it yet. Jacob needs his wifers! Jacob needs his wifers! Oh, I didn't look at the date. Oh, yeah. No, but it says release date 23 the 6th. That's June. What? It says June here. So this one's not out, but on here it says June, by the way. You're saying September? It's not what it says there. Oh, did you think it was September? Oh, okay, you got it wrong. Yeah, it says 6th. It's June. So yeah, you're getting it small as soon as I guess you thought you was gonna get it. Then I thought it was September. I haven't looked in a while. Yeah. Gets me excited. Oh, there we go. There's a little detour into bloody Xenoblade figures. Okay. I need my kills. Okay. Let's get into. Does anyone come into the chat? There's nobody here. Jago, come into the damn chat. Put that Xenoblade down. Okay. Let's see what we're going to see for on the first news topic. Let's talk about Activision, Blizzard, and Microsoft. And what happened just 2 days ago? It was just 2 days ago. I saw the news. I think somebody posted it into our Discord. Maybe it was Rachel, somebody. Maybe that's how I saw it. And I was like, what, really? And yes, the UK regulator has blocked Microsoft's acquisition of Activision Blizzard. So this was being looked at by the CMA in the UK, which, what does that stand for now? Okay, Competition and Markets Authority. And this is significant because this is a major market for Microsoft and Xbox. It's like the second biggest market for Xbox in the world after the United States. So it did seem to people for a while that it a lot of commentators, pundits, everybody thought that the CMA was going to approve it Sorry, excuse me. I'm burping because this gassy monster I'm drinking. Monster, please sponsor me. Um, uh, so yeah, the people thought that the CMA was going to approve it because the CMA had kind of like changed their position a bit and said that it wouldn't be like harmful or detrimental if to the console market. But then they said at the same time they had concerns about cloud at that time. And people are like, oh, concerns about cloud is fine. Now, Kika says, I can't come right now. No worries, Kika. So it seems to be that those cloud concerns was the main thing. Because that is the reason they have blocked it. They have blocked this acquisition. So let's have a look at this. I will enhance. After months of investigation, the regulator published its final report on the $69 billion deal on Wednesday and said it had prevented it over concerns it would, quote, alter the future of the fast-growing cloud market, leading to reduced innovation and less choice for UK gamers over the years to come, end quote. The decision is the most significant yet in Microsoft's battle to get the acquisition over the line. The UK regulator is seen as one of the most influential in deciding the deal's fates, along with the EU and the US. Again, because it's the biggest markets. So I forgot to say this article's from Video Games Chronicle. This is posted by Andy Robertson. So so in the US, the Federal Trade Commission is suing Microsoft in a bid to block the deal over competition concerns. The EU is still investigating now. I think the EU they extended the time for their decision. I don't know if it says in here how long they extended the decision for. They extended it. So I think it might be coming in June or July. Did they say it's in June? Or they extended it from April to... Well, anyway, I can't remember. Maybe it's on here somewhere. So Microsoft said here it's confirmed it will appeal. And the thing is that what people have said is that in the history of like things, the CMA preventing these things, that no case has ever been won. And the thing is, because I think their statement's very significant really to look at this, that what Microsoft has got to appeal against, and they've got to, I think it's impossible for them to win. I'll tell you why, because look at this sentence. It says, concerns alter the future of the fast-growing cloud market, leading to reduced innovation and less choice for the UK gamers over the years to come. Now, the cloud gaming market is still fledgling, and remember, Google was in it before with Stadia, which completely flopped, and they shut it down. So now, basically, Microsoft with their game streaming service is like the leading game streaming service, and plus, Microsoft themselves as a company really are like a cloud and services company, because they have their Azure servers, an entire network of servers over the world. So they really are pretty much the leading player, one of the leading players in it, right? If you obviously there's Amazon has their cloud and Google has theirs, but we're talking about that have the cloud infrastructure, and then also have like their own servers on top of that, which Google no longer has because they shut down Stadia. So here's the thing why I think this is not getting past the CMA, because what they've said is alter the future of the growing cloud market. They're saying this is something that in the future, right? They're saying in the future, the cloud market could become big. So say like, maybe not in the next 5 years, but 15, 20 years or whatever, like maybe it becomes, I'm not saying this is going to happen exactly like this, but maybe streaming is the way most people play games in the future, like they're saying Microsoft would get a big, like a huge head start because of the infrastructure they have, and then the enormous like catalog of their games, and it wouldn't be fair, right? So I don't think Microsoft can win just because like they're trying to. They'd have to disprove that that's not going to happen in the future. But how do they disprove just something in the future? They can't. It's just something that the CMA has said that they think that that's going to happen in the future, but they can't disprove something in the future. How? How would they if they're going to appeal this? So that's why I think that with the CMA now, when it comes to the other regulatory bodies, I think the one to look to would be now the EU. Basically, that's what everybody's looking to now, the EU, like their decision on what they would do. So I've got some comments from Jago, so I'm just going to check out and have a look at see what Jago says. Well, first of all, Jago is banging on about Xenoblade, but we can ignore that bit. But basically, Jago wants figures of every single Xenoblade character in existence, right? But immediately, apparently, but no. So Jago has some comments about this acquisition. So let's have a look and see what he says. So me personally, I think the CMA are overstating Xbox and cloud gaming's influence in the UK. Our internet infrastructure is effing dreadful. I don't see anything wrong with this though, because Microsoft having this popular IP would breed competition in this fast growing market. With our government, I 100% doubt cloud gaming will be big enough because they refuse to invest. That part is true. Our internet infrastructure isn't great. So yeah, so I agree with some of the points you've made here. That our internet is terrible. There wasn't enough investment in the past. I believe there was like opportunity like a long time ago for the government to have fibre or over the whole country, and then they didn't take the opportunity or something, and that's why we're in a situation now where the majority of places is still copper. It's literally literally from what they used in like 150 years ago, in Victorian times, whatever, the copper wires. Most of our internet's still running on copper phone lines, not fibre. And even the services that provides fibre, it doesn't come unless they say, where you get the ones there are some like community fibre and so on where they can bring it directly all the way up to your house or your flat. It will stop at the box outside, the what was it called, the junction box or whatever outside. So yeah, Jago also says Boris Johnson promised gigabit internet in 2020. Oh my gosh! And 3 years later, some parts of the country still don't have internet. Yeah, how does a country as small as England not have internet/data connectivity in every stretch of the country? Because the government didn't invest. They made promises. It's just hot air, and didn't deliver. That's why. And people are more concerned about anyway, I'm going to get into that. I was going to say something. Yeah, I don't know, Jago. It's just they didn't invest into it. So, yeah, I agree with you about that part. Let's look at what the other part you said. You said, I think the CMA are overstating Xbox cloud. Well, I think what it is, right, again, I'll go back to what they said. The influence that they have right now is not a lot. I agree with you, Jago. Like right now, but what the CMA are saying is I'm not saying I agree or saying it's going to happen in the future. They are saying this could happen in the future. They're not saying it's happening. They're saying this could happen in the future, right? That's their main point. It could happen in the future. So yes, Microsoft doesn't have the influence now. Cloud gaming isn't big, and our infrastructure is terrible. We don't have fibre everywhere as we should do, and some places don't have internet, as you said, like maybe some like countryside, people in the countryside or whatever, and most of the internet still runs on Victorian copper phone lines, right? But the CMA are asserting this could happen in the future, which I think, like, how would Microsoft disprove that in order to win the case, in order to win the appeal? Do you see what I mean? I don't know how they do, because I think this is a case of the CMA has already made up their minds. They've collectively made up their minds that this could happen, and I don't think there's anything that Microsoft could present, because they're saying it's something that could happen, which I don't know if that's going to happen. But how do they disprove it? I don't know, man. So yeah. Oh, hi, Dan Community Centre. Hi, welcome. Jago says the CMA are chatting a load of crap with that, because how is this fair on anyone wanting to make an acquisition? What do you mean, like a company other than Microsoft? If a different company wanted to make an acquisition, or do you mean Microsoft? When you say anyone, do you mean in this case or just any case? Kike says streaming isn't even working for movie studios. They can say that. Who can say that? I mean, it is working for them though. Oh, you mean like movie studios don't have they don't have individual like streaming services, because the ones that we have around now are just so dominant on Netflix and Disney Plus and so on. Zombie TechPad says, my understanding is all the cloud deals MSS are coming out with, they retain 100% revenue from ABK games, effectively making other cloud providers customers of MSF, not rivals. That's what it is. Oh, okay. That's what it is. Yeah. No, that makes sense on Zombie Tech Pack. That makes sense. Making other cloud company providers customers, not rivals. Yeah, they're big customers because they're doing a deal to put them... It's like as if they were doing it from any other third-party publisher, basically, right? Is that what it would be? Like they're like licensing deals. Jago says, I mean for any company, not Microsoft. Do you know, I think part of the problem is because it is Microsoft, and Microsoft is a big tech company with a lot of money, and the acquisition is enormous. 69 billion is more than Elon Musk paid for Twitter, which is about 40 odd billion, right? I think part of it is like in the industry, and like not wanting big tech to just buy up a whole load of companies, that sort of thing. I don't know. Dank Meme Center says, is there data to prove the CMA claim of cloud catching on? Well, no, because they're talking about something in the future that hasn't happened yet. So that's what I'm saying. How do you disprove what they're claiming? It's impossible, because they're saying this could happen. There isn't any data. Dank Meme Center. That's what I'm saying. We don't know that. They're just saying it's a fast-growing market, and in the future it could really, leading to reduced innovation and less choice for UK gamers over the years to come. What data can they have for something that hasn't happened? So how would Microsoft disprove it? This is what I'm saying. I'm not saying that the CMA is right or wrong, or what they're saying, or it's going to happen, or it's not going to happen. I'm saying just from a practical point of view, how is Microsoft going to appeal something that the CMA is asserting is going to happen or could happen in the future? There is no data. And these cloud deals that they're making, I see there was another random company that made this 10-year deal with today. Like all these companies that I've literally never heard of them. to even know that there were these other streaming things. I've never heard of them. Like tiny rinky-dink companies, every company they can think of, they're making these deals with. But it seems though, like from what Zombie TechPad says, that they are keeping the revenue. So it's not like if okay, so if ABK was still independent, but like I don't know how to explain it, like, or I can say if MS was their cloud provider or something, but weren't part, yeah, but it's like then no, that example doesn't ignore that. But yeah, they're keeping all the revenue. Then yeah, basically the cloud providers are customers. It's something like that, right? Kike says, I wonder if that's how much it is with current Activision. They must have a custom deal for microtransactions. Custom deal? Jago says, in reply to what Zombie TechPad said about the MS keeping all the revenue, I don't see how this is an issue because the companies agreed to those terms. It's just those cloud businesses making bad deals. Well, yeah, I mean, obviously they agree to the terms. But in terms of MS signing these deals to prove, like, hey, look, we're making this content available on other services, it's still like them. Those companies are licensing the streaming rights from Microsoft, which is still their Microsoft still owning, maintaining the IP, all of that, and keeping all the revenue from that. Those yeah, right. So those companies pay. They're not getting the deals for free. They have to pay to license it, and then Microsoft keeps all the revenue. I think that is what Zombie TechPad is saying. That they keep all the revenue from the games. Or there's... No, because they're not being sold, are they? Because normally if you put a game for sale on like a third party platform like iOS or Steam or something, you know, Valve or Apple will take a 30% cut, right? And then the company gets the rest. But because this is streaming and it's like in a subscription thing, it's not like that. It's basically the streaming company pays for a license, like a set thing, like a set amount or something, for the rights to have them on their streamers, because they're not getting them there for free from Microsoft. Microsoft's making the 10-year deals. It's not free, right? And then Microsoft keeps the revenue that the games make. Is that it? From being in a streaming service, because it must generate some revenue, right? Even if they're not being sold, they're generating revenue somehow. Or maybe I've got that all wrong. It's kind of confusing, to be honest with you. Zombie TechPad says, are they making bad deals? They get COD. What they think is a good deal that they wouldn't have got otherwise. Vinnie Mac says, isn't Game Pass a form of cloud gaming? Well, the cloud gaming component is, Vinnie Mac, because you can play games on Game Pass without using cloud gaming. But it's part of, if you get Game Pass Ultimate, it's part of the package. If we base it on that, then don't we already have data that cloud gaming is catching on? No, but that's Microsoft data, which they would use it to prove that prove, quote unquote, that it's not catching on. I believe they said something like, oh, well, we can only stream to 5,000 people at a time in the UK or something like that, saying, look, hardly anyone's got it. That's not the point. Hardly anyone has it now. The CMA is asserting in the future it's going to get bigger, and then Microsoft will have they will have a huge head start over everyone. I'm saying that Microsoft, how can they disprove something that's going to happen in the future? You know, where Dan Community says, is there data to prove that it's catching on? Well, yeah, there's data that says that it's increased over time. I mean, naturally, that's going to happen. It's increased over time. There's more and more people that have adopted cloud gaming. But catching on to like it's in the mass market thing, no, that hasn't happened. The CMA saying that could happen in the future. MS will have a huge head start over everyone because they control so much of it. Therefore, deals not being passed. Microsoft appeals. They need to say, well, that's not going to happen in the future. How can they disprove something that's going to happen in the future? That's what I'm saying. I'm like, how can you disprove that? You can't. PS Plus is also, the PS Plus has some cloud component in it as well. Nvidia would be able to offer COD. It would be able to offer COD would gain more subs. That's a good point. I never thought of it that way. Yeah, they get more subs, right? So yeah, that's my point. Let's look at the article again quickly. I'm just like, how would they disprove a future that hasn't happened? That is Microsoft. Microsoft's task is to disprove a future that has not happened. How can they do that? It is impossible. Because the CMA are just asserting that. Thankfully says, oh, I agree, it'd be tough to appeal a heavy assertion. Yeah, it's an assertion that it's going to happen. There is no, what data? There's data to say that cloud gaming has increased over time. There's more cloud gamers now than there was 2 years ago. Yes. That's what you would expect with like a new technology. It just goes up over time, right? But catching up, yeah, as I said, like mass market, no. There isn't. That hasn't happened. Oh, and plus, we had Google leaving the race with Stadia. How can the CMA disprove a disproval? Disproval. So that's what I think about it. Sega says, but that cannot be enough of an incentive to accept 0% revenue from Activision games. No, I think listen. I don't know. We don't know exactly what the terms of the deals are, or the deals are. But it'll be something like the streaming company, pays to license the games, pays money to Microsoft or whatever third party company to stream the games for a period of time. So that's how they make their money. In terms of revenue, because the games are not being sold, maybe Zombie Tech Pack, do you mean like on stores where it can be sold, like Steam or something? Because I don't know if cloud services work like that with the revenue. Or if maybe it's an individual thing, and some cloud providers will be like, it'll be per, how, not download, but like per stream, or how much times it's streamed or something like that. I have no idea how it works. I don't know. So let's look at this. Yeah, so they're saying Microsoft already accounts for an estimated 60 to 70% of global cloud gaming services, and has other important strengths in cloud gaming from owning Xbox, the leading PC platform, operating system, Windows, and a global cloud computing infrastructure, Azure and Xbox Cloud Gaming. That's what it is. So we're looking at it and saying, well, Xbox as a company, they can't do that. No. The CMA is looking at the entire, because they're looking at Microsoft as a company and what they have. Windows, they have Azure, they already have 60 to 70% of global cloud gaming services. Because there's not that many that are really big, and Google's gone. There's either that and just like Luna or Nvidia. What else is there that's big? So Microsoft already has a whole load of it. This is what the CMA is saying. So yeah, let's see what it says. So Piers Harding-Wells, who's a, I think he works for some, he's an analyst or something. Says the Competition Appeal Tribunal site says straightforward cases are aimed to be dealt with within 9 months. If MS wins, it gets returned to the CMA. The chances of this closing within the year are now slim. That means we get the FTC case. So that's coming. That's what's going on in the States. So yeah, they have to appeal this tribunal thing, and then if MS wins that, then it gets to return to the CMA, and the CMA make another decision on it. Which, like, I'm like, oh my god, 9 months for that. Microsoft's president Brad Smith said, "We remain fully committed to this acquisition and will appeal." The CMA's decision rejects a pragmatic path to address competition concerns and discourages technology, information and investment within the United Kingdom. We have already signed contracts to make Activision Blizzard's popular games available on 150 million more devices, and we remain committed to reinforcing these agreements through regulatory remedies. We are especially disappointed that after lengthy deliberations, this decision appears to reflect a flawed understanding of this market and the way the relevant cloud technology actually works. Now, this bit here, about 150 million more devices, you're like, well, where have they got this number for 100 million more 50 million more devices? And they say devices. So I think that's mainly referring to the Switch, honestly, because this cloud gaming, if you're talking about cloud gaming, that can stream on anything. So I think they're just throwing in, it's something like they've done to get to this number of 150 million more devices. Activision says, this is what Activision said, I don't give a flying F what Bobby Kotick. Bobby Kotick can go and die in a hole. He's an awful person. And Activision said this report is a disservice to UK citizens who face increasingly dire economic prospects, and we will need to reassess our growth strategy in the UK. Global innovators, large and small, will take note that despite all its rhetoric, the UK is closed for business. So, yeah, this is like, oh no, hang on, this is Microsoft. I think Microsoft said this, not MS. This is like low key, like, oh, we're gonna reassess, we're gonna rethink about whether we're gonna invest, like, do stuff in the UK because of this. That's what it seems to be saying to me. It's just we need to reassess our growth strategy. That means like they're like, maybe we're not gonna put as much money in the UK because you're doing this type thing. That's what I got out. I don't know what anyone else got out of that. It's kind of how it seems to me. Bobby Kotick just said, I don't care. After reviewing new evidence, the CMA said it will no longer believe the deal will significantly reduce competition in the console space, although it has still concerns over the acquisition's impact on the cloud gaming market. So it turns out that was the thing that stopped it. And because that, so this is two things. One, it means that Microsoft has to try and disprove something that hasn't happened. That's the first thing. Second thing is, because they're only now talking about cloud gaming, because we remember, like, oh my gosh, all the whining and everything that Sony did, that PlayStation did about Call of Duty and everything, and in the end the CMA said it it wouldn't reduce competition. Well, that's fine, but now they're not even talking about console stuff. They're talking about the cloud, which, you know, doesn't involve the console stuff anymore. Doesn't really involve Sony to the degree they had been involved to now, of like presenting their evidence as well. It's going to hurt the console thing. This is about a cloud gaming market that hasn't taken off yet. Okay, and then there's a whole, like, what's this summary thing here? Microsoft submitted a proposal to address the concerns of the CMA, which the CMA examined in considerable depth. The proposed remedy set out requirements governing what games must be offered by Microsoft to what platforms and on what conditions over a 10-year period. Such remedies are described as behavioural because they seek to regulate the behaviour of businesses involved in a merger, requiring them to behave in a way which may be contrary to their commercial incentives. This therefore takes the form of a type of ongoing regulation of the sector, replacing forces in a growing and dynamic market with mandated regulatory obligations, ultimately overseen and enforced by the CMA, in this case at a global level. Microsoft's proposal contained a number of significant shortcomings connected with the fast-growing and fast-moving nature of cloud gaming services. So they're saying it did not. This is what I think the CMA is saying. It did not sufficiently cover cloud gaming service business models, including multi-game subscription services. It was not sufficiently open to providers who might wish to offer versions of the games on PC operating systems other than Windows. I guess that's true. It would standardise the terms and conditions on which games are available, as opposed to them be determined by the dynamism and creativity of competition in the market, as would be expected in the absence of a merger. So those are the things. Remedy this situation. It's what the CMA is saying that Microsoft is not doing. Given the remedy applies only to a defined set of Activision games, which can be streamed only in a defined set of cloud gaming services, provided they are purchased in a defined set of online stores, there are significant disagreement and conflict between Microsoft and cloud gaming service providers, particularly over a 10-year period in a rapidly changing market. Accepting Microsoft's remedy would inevitably require some degree of regulatory oversight by the CMA. By contrast, preventing the merger would effectively allow market forces to continue to operate and shape the development of cloud gaming without this regulatory intervention. So this is what the CMA is saying here. Let's see what you're saying in chat. Kike says, if the deal doesn't go through, Bobby will stay with us forever. Well, he's there anyway though, Kike. He's there anyway. This is what I'm saying. Like, he hasn't gone anywhere this whole time. He's just going to get his golden parachute. Jago, I'll have to redact him myself. Who? Bobby Kotick, get rid of that fool. Finimax says, what is your opinion on this, JCat? Do you think the CMA is scrutinising properly, or do you think they should let the deal just go through? I think they're right to. I think they're right to scrutinise. I think any regulatory body is right to scrutinise in the interest of their market, right? But if you're saying, do I agree with them? I agree with them in a way, but it's just something like I don't really want this deal to go through. Not because I give a flying fig about Activision or anything. I just think it sets a precedent for whole publishers being gobbled up, which is not a future I'd like to see. Because I don't think it's going to stop with Activision Blizzard. But I mean, that's just my opinion. Do I think they're scrutinizing properly? I mean, they're scrutinizing. Is it properly? Like I said, they've made an. I'll describe it this way. They've made an assertion. Dan Community Centre said, "What evidence is there?" There isn't any evidence because it's not something that's happened yet. They've made an assertion, therefore it can't be disproven. They've made an assertion of something that's going to happen or might, or they probably say might happen in the future. Therefore, it can't be disproven. Is that something that they should have done? You can argue that no, that they shouldn't just make assertions. Even though they say they wouldn't describe it as an assertion, of course. I'm saying that they are asserting something because it can't be disproven, in my opinion. Dan Community Centre says that separation makes sense given Microsoft as a company is massive. Xbox is small in the market. Sense for console gaming. Yeah. Exactly. What was that? Jago says, I'll get rid of Bobby God. Bobby my Monado. You have a Monado? You have one? Do you have one? Yeah. So, yeah, that's about it for that story. I thought we would cover it because it's pretty huge news, obviously, in gaming, and significant because it would have, whichever way this deal goes, it's going to have significant ramifications for the future, whether it passes or not. Now, I actually did think it was going to pass before this CMA, this decision by the CMA. Now I'm not sure. I think, like, I agree with what other people are saying about the EU and what they say, but I think it could be like, say the EU says yes, or lets it go through, and then the FTC or Microsoft wins the case with the FTC, because the FTC is like suing them or whatever. Then that'll be 2 out of 3 of like the important markets that they've gone over. But say the UK is the exception, are they just gonna not offer Activision? Still buy them, but just not offer the full range of Activision games and Game Pass, and not offer the full range of like other services and things like that. Like they seem to be saying, like Microsoft seems to be saying, we're not going to be investing more in the UK because they said, look, we have to rethink what we're doing in the UK, which to me that's like low key. Okay, we're not going to invest anymore in like any other parts of our businesses that we have in the UK. Where did it say that again? Hang on. Actually, I can't remember where it said that. Yeah. I can't remember which part I said that's in. Okay. It turns very political. I think it's political from the start, to be honest with you. Zombie tech pads. It's probably political from the start. But it is what it is. We'll have to just wait and follow this story now. I cannot go for really that much longer because I'm starting the fatigue's starting to bite my butt. I don't care about either, Jago, because Activision doesn't make any games I care about at all. What do they make? I don't play Call of Duty and that stuff. No, I never really cared for Crash Bandicoot. I don't have Crash Bandicoot. I don't care. If I really wanted to play that, I can still play it. That's what I'm saying. It doesn't affect me because, like, if I wanted to play their games, I can play their games. I don't care. It matters in terms of, like, for the future of gaming and where that's going. But, like, not for this. So let's look at some of these financial results. Basically, we got it's like financial results season. This always happens. Basically, it's the end of the financial year, so you get a bunch of companies announcing their financial results. And this week we had both. We had, in terms of like, we're talking about in for Japanese publishers, since that's what we like to look at over here. There's like Microsoft announced theirs as well, but we're going to that now. So we had Sega, Koei, Tecmo, and Sony, and we're going to look at their results because they were mostly positive. Mostly positive. So let's see what I've got here. So, oh yeah, before we do that, Capcom announced that the Mega Man Battle Network collection has sold a total of over 1 million. Sales have surpassed 1 million. So now the way they've counted this up, now I've got the Japanese tweet up on here, but I did read it from the official English account as well. It said Mega Man Battle Network collection plus the volume 1 and the volume 2. So what it is, if you buy the game physically, it's all on one disc or cartridge, it's all together. But when you buy it digitally, they're in two, like volume 1 and volume 2. So what they've done, they've counted, they haven't like, so there might be somebody who only bought volume 1 or someone that only buys volume 2. Right, so they haven't, just because they're all separate SKUs and they're completely different people, might be different people buying them, they've just counted each one. So it's like the collection, then volume 1 and volume 2, and then add all those together. They haven't just taken the sales of volume 1 and volume 2 and added them together. Which, you know, I actually agree with the way they did it, because if you then say, okay, the digital one we're going to put to, it's different people buying it and so on. And also it was more expensive to buy it. So I heard it's more expensive to buy it that way. It's cheaper to just buy the collection, like the physical one. So probably a lot of people did buy that, and they want it for like people collectors purpose. And we see that it, like for example in Japan, it went completely out of stock. So this is great news, because this game came out a couple of weeks ago, and it's a collection of old games from the Game Boy Advance. You know, so this probably did not cost them that much to make it. It didn't cost as much as like making a brand new game, like for example Wolong, which we're going to talk about in a sec. This wouldn't have cost anywhere near that, but the collection, the whole collection together, was basically a full price. Like it's equivalent of a full price game, like $60 or whatever. So it's a really great result for the Mega Man Battle Network collection that a lot of people had been asking for a long time. And whether we've seen new games in that franchise or just new Mega Man games in general, because when was the last one? Years ago. Must have been like 2017, 2018, I can't remember now. It was a long time ago. There was like Mega Man 11. So yeah, congratulations to Mega Man, and yeah, I thought this was going to be a sleeper hit. So yeah, it did very well. Jacob says, I think it's crazy that the CMA can block the deal because of a prediction. Well, yeah, that's exactly what they've done. It's literally what they've done. That's why I said, like, how would they disprove that? How would Microsoft disprove that? Finimax says, I care about the acquisition only because of the future of gaming. This acquisition is definitely going to change the future of gaming for the next 20 to 30 years. Yeah, I think so, because it sets a precedent of whether just, you know, this consolidation is going to happen, in a sense of that the publishers are just going to get bought, like just swallowed up. Kika says Cash Banuka. Crash Banuka. Is that what you call Crash Bandicoot? Jago says, but like if the deal went through, I think regulators could just not accept large acquisitions in the future. Right, but each. Yes, but I think like I mean, I'm just guessing, Jago. I'm not saying like that's what's going on, but it's just like it would send a message to like you can't just be buying stuff up like this. Yeah, it's just me speculating. I don't know that that's the case. Maybe you could say, well, if it went through, then if any other large company did that, but it's just they want to do it now, and they probably are genuinely concerned. Whoever made the decision probably is genuinely concerned about this cloud gaming stuff. But it's not you can't I just don't think it's going to be able to disprove an assertion. Okay. Let's move on to the next thing here. So the next thing, because we had a number of these new goods up, but I'm going to do this one first. So, was it 2 days ago or was this yesterday? What was it yesterday? Well, for me it was like, it must have been very, very, I guess maybe it was late at night or something. Yeah, that's right, look, it was at midnight my time when they announced this. That's my time now. It was at midnight. So, yeah. So, at that time we had an announcement from PlayStation that there will be a Final Fantasy 16 bundle available at launch. So this is going to be a regular, like, okay. So when I say regular, I mean like the PS5 with the disc drive, right? So you'll be able to get a PS5 with disc drive, and I believe it would be you'll get the digital edition as well. So a PS5 with a disc drive with Final Fantasy 16 code. It's not a physical game, even if you get it on a disc drive, and then the digital one is going to be also a code. I believe that's correct, right? It's both of them, but it's a code in both. Both have a code in the box. In addition to that, Japan only, nowhere else in the world, only Japan, will be getting a special edition Final Fantasy 16 DualSense controller and Final Fantasy 16 special edition PS5 faceplate. So these are the plates that go on the side of your PS5. They just pretty much just pop off pretty easily. Pop off and put on new plates. And this is the first time Sony's actually done this. They didn't do it with any of their first party games. Funnily enough, I thought they would. There was a special DualSense controller for God of War Ragnarok, but they didn't do like these faceplates, and people had been kind of like begging them, like, please make special edition, because really, like, when they're doing this special, because you know PS4 and all different their past consoles had a special edition, but normally you'd have to buy a whole new console, right? But the PS5, because the PS5's design, so these shells just pop off. You don't need a whole new console. You can just buy these shells or these faceplates. So it's a wonder they didn't do this sooner. I kind of wondered why you didn't see these with the other games, since it just seems that easy. But the key thing here that I'm about to point out, that these are Japan only. This and this. Now, I think I have a tweet on. Let me look at my phone. Now, this is what I tweeted out about this. Let's have a look. Skrillex L. There's an L. So yeah, maybe it's a W. It's like a W and an L. So W because, oh cool, they've made a special edition controller and faceplates. It's an L because it's only Japan. This is what I mean with Square Enix. I know this is obviously Sony as well, but this can't be a full L. It's only a 50% L. It can't be a full W. I mean, it's a 50%. It's like L because it's not outside of Japan. Now, this is what I said. I've always said the idea that Square Enix does not care at all about the sales of Final Fantasy 16 in Japan and are only looking at Western sales is highly unlikely. Now, I was going to write preposterous, but I reworded it and I put highly unlikely. I think that these Japan exclusive Final Fantasy 16 PS5 faceplates and controller show that they want the game to sell well there. Like, why this? I don't see what would be stopping this being worldwide. Like I said, we saw the God of War Ragnarok PS5 controller was available worldwide. Why is this only in Japan? Let's see what answers you have in chat. Why you think that's only in Japan? Vinnie Max says, Sony is trying to inflate Final Fantasy 16's numbers by bundling it together. I mean, yeah, that's the point of bundling something, really, isn't it? You want to get a lot of sales. Especially bundling a brand new AAA game at launch is... I mean, you would see it for games that had already been out for a while, but like a brand new AAA game bundling it at launch, yeah, I mean... It's like when this bundle, it's not like you're getting the game for free. It's like you have to, it costs more than just like the base PS5 without a game. So it's not like it's free. But it might be, depending on the price, you might be getting like a discount. I know for the other ones, for the Horizon Forbidden West and the God of War, like you'd get like a little bit of a discount, right? But I don't know the price of this one, if that's the same thing. So it could be the same thing. But it's not free. It's definitely not free. Final Fantasy 16 was supposed to stand on its own, but it's not really, Mac. It's being propped up. Because there's no, so less than 100k. It's Keycare. That bet is dead. That bet is officially dead. For those who don't know, Keycare has been saying for a very long time that Final Fantasy 16 will sell less than 100k launch week in Japan. Like, obviously physical on the Famitsu charts. I've said from the beginning, no. It's like it's even with the really low pre-order sales, I don't think it's going to be less than 100k. Now I think this bundle means that it really won't. It's guaranteed to be above 100k, because you think this bundle could add anything from 20 to 50,000 extra sales. Not only that, it's going to inflate the tail of the game, because the legs of the game, because you're gonna see this bundle coming up. Now, I will add one thing though. Go back to Amazon and look at the PlayStation 5 here. This is what I'll add. Now, I did talk about this, like, was it last week or the week before we even knew about this thing, about this bundle. Now, you can see here, in the rankings, the PlayStation that's at the top is this one. In the top of the bestsellers is this one. This is the PlayStation 5 with a disc drive. Just a regular one, not bundled. Right? And the cost of it is 6,470 yen. It's even 10% off the retail price. Right? Here's the other editions. And you can see this one's available. I put in the Japanese postcode here, and it's available to buy directly from Amazon. This is actually from Amazon. So let's look at the availability of the other bundles and the price. So the digital edition is cheaper, 49,000. So it's almost 50,000 yen, right? But it is invitation only. So that means that's from via lottery. Here's the Horizon bundle. So this is Horizon bundle. It costs more. It's more expensive than just the PS5 by itself, which is with 60,000. It's extra 50,000 yen. But again, this is only available via lottery. Next, this is the Horizon digital edition here. Again, this is invitation only. This is 54,000 yen. What was the other one again? Obviously, that's the digital edition, so it's way cheaper. Because the digital editions are cheaper. But it's more than that one. So you're paying, each time you're paying about 50,000 yen on top. Now this one is the Gran Turismo bundle, the regular PS5 with disc drive, 66,000 yen. This one is available to buy. 66,000 yen. Now let's have a look at something. In the best sellers of video games, 177. It's number 177. So it's outside the top 100. It's number 177. And the regular disc drive PS5, the regular, just a box standard PS5 without a game bundled is what is it, number 8? Number 8 is number 8. And this is number 107, and then the Gran Turismo Digital Edition, which this one is a what do you call it, it's invitation only, which means it's a lottery. And that one's obviously that is low. It's 8,294. Okay, so there's only two that are just fully available. You can buy it without any invitation. That's this one, and then the Gran Turismo one. Everything comes by invitation. Given the option of a bundle game and not one, people go for the cheaper one because it's cheaper and you might not necessarily want that game. Now when it comes to the Final Fantasy 16 bundle, the people that will buy that will be people that they want both Final Fantasy 16. They want Final Fantasy 16 because unless they make it so that the regular one is not available, which I don't think they'll do. I think it'll just be available. The people buying that will be because they want Final Fantasy 16. Unlike what we saw last year, where only the Horizon bundle was available. You know, people had to buy the Horizon bundle if they wanted PlayStation 5. So I don't think that's what's gonna happen. I think you'll be able to have. I think you'll be able to get the one without a game or a one with a game. So I think so it's going to inflate it, yes, but maybe not as much as if the regular one wasn't available. Because there's going to be people who want a PlayStation 5 but won't necessarily want Final Fantasy 16. Not literally every single person is going to want it. So the availability will mean, if this one's still available, which I don't see why it wouldn't be. If this one's still available, it shouldn't artificially inflate it that much. Kika says, take the bait. What bait? You take the bait. What are you talking about? Oh wait, I'm supposed to show these memes in the bloody thing, aren't I? Hey look. Kika's doing nonsense. Hang on, oh you can't see it unless I'm on the thing. So annoying. Kika's trying to assert his dominance, he's trying to challenge me. Jago says, because unless PS5... Sorry, I've got straps on my mouth, that's why I sound weird. Unless PS5 sales become just like Xbox Series, it's guaranteed another 40k-ish. Per week? Well, when Final Fantasy 16 comes out, it will sell more than that, if that's what you're talking about. What do you mean just per week? Because that's about what it did this week, isn't it? 40k? What did we do this week? It's 40k, right? Dank Moon says 50% L. Yes. Don't you remember last week we were talking about is that a L or W, that game? What was it called? What was it called? The Portopia case or something? And then it turns out the AR doesn't work. So that's an L. But this, what they've made here, this, hang on, let me close the, oh my god, I need to do this so you can see it. This, yeah, it's, how can it can't be a full W if it's not available worldwide. I can't give them a full W, no, it's not. If it was available worldwide, okay, fair enough, full W, but they've made it, and I'm telling you, this is Square Enix's decision to do that, not Sony. I think this is. I think Sony has the distribution, the money to distribute these controllers and everything worldwide, because they did it with the God of War Ragnarok DualSense controller. They can do it if they want to. I think this is Square Enix's decision. I'll tell you why. Because if you remember, Forspoken, which we all knew with us was going to flop, and Square Enix has more data available than what we have because they can see the pre-orders, right? They decided to make a special edition for Forspoken only in Japan. The place where it was pretty much guaranteed to sell the least. They made a special edition exclusive to their store, the Square Enix store, in Japan. Why do that for that game, which is clearly aiming for the worldwide or Western audience? Why not have that available worldwide? And why only make that in Japan, where like pretty much nobody bought it? Because it was only on the Square Enix store. That's why I think this, where this is only available in Japan. Where's the blasted photo gone? Where's the photo? What's over it? Where it's only available in Japan. It's Square Enix! I'm telling you! It's Square Enix! That's why it's an L! I know this is Square Enix. Sony has the distribution to have these available worldwide if they wanted to. And I know it's on the Sony, whatever, the PlayStation store. Well, maybe it is Sony. I don't know. I'm telling you they could do this worldwide if they wanted to. They have the distribution to be able to do that worldwide. I don't see why this is not available worldwide. Unless this is what Square Enix wants, which probably is. Why? Why only make these available in Japan and do it in a way where it's not like that? I think these are only going to be available on the PlayStation Store. Hang on, let me look at this thing. If it wasn't Amazon, that would be one thing. It says click here for details. Let's have a look. Available in limited quantities in Japan. Let's do this. Let's click this button to translate, and let's read a Google Translate. Okay, which has been made. The download price. It will be limited in. It will be available in limited quantities on launch, 22nd, which I believe is the launch day of the game. So they're just sending it on the game on the day the game releases. Reservations. Oh no. It says PlayStation dealers and EC sites worldwide. Oh no, so maybe they are selling it outside the. But it's still only in Japan. It's still an L. Oh no, wait, no, but that's talking about the. No, it says reservations for each product were built at PlayStation dealers and EC sites nationwide. I don't know what EC sites means. It must be like electronic centers, I guess. Do they shorten that to electronic centers in Japan? PlayStation, right? So that should be mean you can get it other places, other than just the PlayStation Store. So you can get it in other places, right? That's good, but it's still an L because it's only in Japan. So what does it say? I was just talking about the game. Stylized. So here's a larger picture. Well, it's not that much larger actually. Oh, it's not bigger. Anyway, it's a little bit bigger. Picture of this controller was, yeah, it's quite a nice design. Simple, reminds me of do you remember Spirograph? That kind of toy thing, which is like cogs and stuff, where you could make spiral patterns. Reminds me of that. Spirograph. And here's the covers. Now, the covers I'm not so keen. I mean, I wouldn't mind having them. Because the white gets dirty, obviously, appears very dirty. But the design's quite small in the middle. It would have been nice if it was like, I guess they put it that way because they think most people are going to stand their PlayStations up that way, and not put it I guess it wouldn't maybe it would make sense to put it landscape, because you wouldn't see it landscape. But it seems small. I don't know. When the design seems a bit small in the middle. But then again, they're not showing it to us face on, so maybe it just looks small because it's turned on its side. So yeah, this is only going to be available in Japan. Why? If they don't care about sales in Japan, why would you make this thing for only Japan? That's what I want to know. J2, Square's still taking L's. Can Square's Enix stop taking L's for 5 seconds? I need to catch my breath. There are so many L's. And I know what people are going to say. Oh, they announced the other day that Nier Automata had sold 7.5 million, and that's a W. Yes, it is a W. But let me tell you something now. They already announced last year that game had sold 7 million. So there's an additional 500,000. Great, but it was already a W because the W was announced last year. We already had a W, so it's not. How can it be a W again when it already had the W? So it's not a new W. It doesn't count. It doesn't count. It's not a new W. It's an old W. So they can't keep announcing the same thing and making it out like it's new. That's why they did it again. That's why they did it. Because they know that they're catching L's and they're like, well, quick, put out a new Nier Automata update. So it looks like we've got another L. It's not another L. They're deceiving you. They're tricking you, making you think it's another L, another W, and like it's a new W. It's not. It's an old W that they're recycling. They're bringing it back, so it's like it's not a new W. It's an old one. They're trying to trick you. I blame AB Kiryu-san. Yeah, Airbus Kiryu-san is him. Well, actually, no, he's not in charge yet, is he? Technically, they haven't. Technically, he's not in charge yet. So it's still Matsuda. Matsuda. Bloody dry. Oh my god! All his decisions are still going. It's gonna take. I don't know. Can Airbus Kiryu-san turn that company around? I don't know. There's just L after L after L with this AI thing, which could have been that AI thing could have been an easy W. Apparently, you have to put in precise terms to make that thing work. And the whole thing of it was meant to be was the original game, because it was just Famicom game or whatever. You had to put in, it's just an adventure game. You got to put in pretty specific things to get the answers. They're saying, oh no. With this AI, you can put in something that the AI will understand, and the AI will understand it. But no, apparently it needs to be pretty precise. And I watched some videos about it. And yeah, you have to put in something like, it just doesn't know what you're talking about. It just basically doesn't work. And it's just a free game they put out as a test. Could have been an easy W. Like when Sega put out that game for April's Fools. It's just a free game, it's on Steam now, go get it. W. It could have been that, but no, they messed it up. It didn't work. The AI didn't work. What they claimed. It's not that it just didn't work, it just spectacularly didn't work. It was really bad, apparently. That's why it's an L. So that's an L. Recycling W. Yes, it's a J2 Play Engage. It's a recycled W. You can't already have a W and then have it announced again and it's a new W. How is that a new W? We already knew about that one. They're recycling W's. They're trying to trick us. They make us think. They're trying to take the attention away from all the L's. Square Enix, in some ways they're not dumb by announcing these things, making it out like it's a new one. Anyway, so that's that for that news. We didn't have anyone joining me today, which is unfortunate. But I will try to see how long we've been live actually. So I'm not gonna go. I've been alive for 2 hours 20 minutes, so we're not going to go much longer because I'm like the fatigue is biting. It's biting my butt. Okay, let's close this down. We don't need these ones here. Now we're going to go along with have a look at some other milestones that was announced. So basically we had Koei Tecmo announce some financial results. Now what's the interesting thing when why are you coming out into a new thing? Don't do that. When Koei Tecmo announced their financial results, which we have here, they announced these. was it a couple of days ago? And at the time, we're like, well, hang on, they didn't give us sales for Wolong or Wild Hearts. We got an update on Atelier Riser, and we got an update on Fatal Frame Mask of Lunar Eclipse and Wheeling Post 10. But they didn't tell us about Wild Hearts, Wolong, or Monster... or what else is this called? Ultra Kaiju Monster Rancher. Oh, was it not released yet? Okay, no, it says development. That means it's not released yet, right? If it says development on the thing like that. I assume that's what that means. Isn't that what that means? I'll make it bigger. Oops, it's too big now. Development. Has that game not... I thought that game was released. What does it say? There's no date on it. Somebody let me know about this Ultra Kaiju Monster Rancher. Was it released or not? Okay, maybe that one wasn't released. Do you know what? I didn't know this. I just noticed on the corner of the thing, it's got like Koei Tecmo's motto or slogan. It says "Level up your happiness." Is that their slogan? Their slogan is "Level up your happiness." I had no idea about that. It says it right here. Look. Look at this. It's in the corner here. Oh. Look, it says "Level up your happiness." I had no idea that was their slogan. That's hilarious. Level up your happiness. That's their slogan. That's Koei Tecmo's slogan. I had no idea. Level up your happiness. I mean, it's kind of cute, I guess. I mean, it's, you know, a little bit cheesy, a little bit cute. So, yeah, at the time, when they did their financial reports, they did not announce the sales of certain games. Now, we have since had an announcement for Wolong, but we haven't had one for Wild Hearts. And that may be because that was published by EA and it's on EA to announce the sales of that game. Possibly. And EA did also publish it in Japan. Level up your smile. It doesn't say that though. It says level up your happiness. Where are you getting level up your smile from? Not what it says. So, at the time, we had Atelier Riser, announcement for Atelier Riser 3, 290,000 copies worldwide. Now, since then, this was only a few days later, really, we had this announcement. Atelier Riser 3 has shipped over 300,000 units worldwide. This is the fastest in the Secret series. So I think when they say Secret series, they mean like this. It's like the Atelier series has like these sub series, right? So this is the Atelier Riser. It's like because it's called, the subtitle is Alchemist of the End and the Secret Key. So I guess that's what it means. That sub series. So that's good for Atelier Riser, because don't forget this is not a big franchise, it's a AA type franchise, so that's that's one. Level up your smile, yeah. So we also had Fatal Frame Mask of the Lunar Eclipse, and this is a re-release of a game that was either on the Wii or it may have been a Wii game. Anyway, that got re-released recently. Like, when was it re-released? Oh God, I can't even remember. It was like a few weeks ago. It was like oh my God. It was around when, but it was before Bayonetta Origins had come out, but it dropped out the goddamn chart before Bayonetta Origins could release, and that's why I lost install base bucks, because it wasn't in there. It was supposed to be there. Actually, no, I just realised this is all Koei Tecmo's fault. This is Koei Tecmo's fault. I just realised this. Now that I think about it, Atelier Riser 3 was supposed to release the same week as Bayonetta Origins. Fatal Frame Master Lunar Eclipse dropped out of the chart. Wolong dropped out of the chart. This is I just realised it's Koei Tecmo's fault that I lost install base bucks. God damn it! Now I have beef with Koei Tecmo as well. Well, they don't make as much L's as Square Enix. I can't say that. They're not like an L company. But god damn it, Koei Tecmo. They're the reason I lost in store-based bucks. It's all their games. Damn it. Anyway, this is a re-release of an old ass Wii game. Sold 120,000 copies worldwide. Winning Post 10 sold 70,000 copies in Japan. Now, I believe this game is not released, or this one hasn't been released outside of Japan. Do they ever release these games outside of Japan? I don't know. Somebody let me know. I have no idea. But it says Japan, which implies it hasn't been released outside of Japan yet, anyway. So 70,000 copies. Now, them, at the time I was like, why do we not have an update for Wolong? Well, we since have had an update. So, here, over here, it's Koei Tecmo. Wolong Falling Dynasty has achieved sales of over 1 million over 1 million units worldwide. In addition, the total number of players, including Xbox Game Pass and PC Game Pass, has now exceeded 3.8 million. Thank you, Koei Tecmo family. Now, the sales are 1 million, and then it says, in addition, the total number of players, including... So when they say total number of players, including Xbox Game Pass, they mean players that were also that played this not via Game Pass. So if you just bought this game on Steam or PlayStation, are you included in this 3.8 million? How? If you bought this game on Xbox, say you bought it on Xbox, but you didn't have Game Pass, you just bought it on Xbox, which there would have been some people that did that, right? Is that included in this? Since it says including, I guess it is. Would love to know exactly how they worked that out. But yeah, I had somebody in the Discord asked me, is this good? Is this a I think, who said that? Was it Kike or Roche or someone? He said, is this an L or W? It's not an L. It's not an L. Is it an absolute, like, stomping hit? Like, oh my god, it's amazing? No. And I did talk about this in the pre-show, but this game, I think, came out in February, right? We was talking about this. This game came out in February? Was it February? And it's 1 million across PC, PlayStation 5, PlayStation 4, I think the Xbox One as well. Basically every platform except for the Switch. So all those platforms released in February, so like a couple of months ago, right? It's 1 million. And then we were just talking about the Mega Man Battle Network collection that sold 1 million in like 2 weeks. And basically what I said, out of those two games, which one do you think costs more to develop and publish? Well, obviously this one, because it's a brand new game. Whereas the Mega Man Battle Network thing is like just old ass Game Boy Advance games that wouldn't have cost anywhere near as much to make and achieved that faster. And plus, the full collection of the game, if you bought the full collection, so if you bought just the collection together, it was the same as a full pass game, like $60 or whatever. But if you bought the two, Volume 1 and Volume 2 separately, digitally, it ended up being more than just buying the thing together, physical. Now I don't know if they had like I guess they must have had a digital bundle as well. That was maybe brought the price to the $60. But basically it was a full price game that achieved better sales than this. So my point is, it's all relative. This is a good result for this game, because this game, I mean, looking at it wouldn't have been crazy expensive to develop, because in general, Koei Tecmo, their games are not crazy expensive. The other thing I should point out Now I can't remember what it is off the top of my head. I think Neo. If you compare this to the next nearest game, would be like this or Koei Tecmo made would be Neo. This sold less than Neo. It took longer to achieve. Like Neo achieved 1 million in a shorter amount of time than this. Plus, at the time, Neo was exclusive to PlayStations. I think was it on PC as well. It may have just been. I think it was just exclusive to PlayStation at the time. So, in that sense, this is on every platform. Neo was just on PlayStation at the time and achieved it in. I think it was just a few. I can't remember the exact. I should have had that in front of me, but I just forgot about it until just now. It didn't sell as fast as Neo, and it's on more platforms than Neo, which would be their game before this one that was like a Souls-esque, because this is like a Souls-esque game, right? A Souls-esque game. So in that sense, it just did okay. It did well enough for them to like want to announce it and everything, but it didn't do as well as Neo or Mega Man Battle Network Collection, which is just a bunch of old Game Boy Advance games. So you're saying February? Yeah, okay. So this came out in February. So there we go. So some W's for Koei Tecmo, an L for me because I lost install base bucks because of Koei Tecmo. But whatever. I lost install base bucks. Okay, what was the next topics? Let's close this up. Now we've got Zelda to go into, but before we do that, let's continue with the financials. So we've got Sega. Sega Sammy announced their financial results, which is quite lengthy because Sega's in a whole bunch of all different. There's all sorts of things in here. There patchy slot, pachinko, and the resorts and all this nonsense. But anyway, we're not interested in that. What we're interested in is their IP. That is not the Sega Europe stuff. That, let's face it, nobody who's a Sega fan cares about. Anytime anyone talks about Sega, they never talk about all that other stuff. No, they just care about like this stuff. So we had updates for Sonic Frontiers and Persona 5 Royal Remaster. When I say remaster, they mean the re-release, the multi-platform re-release that happened in October last year. Yeah, so Sonic Frontiers, we have an update for that. Now, I don't know what the previous sales were, but now it's saying it's over 3.2 million units as of the end of March 2023. I don't know what the previous update was. Kike, I'm sure you can remind me. So that's a good result for Sonic. And they note IP growth through hits for movies, animations, collaborations, etc. Expand sales opportunity by global simultaneous launch, and it says cross multi-platform support. Sales over 3.2 million. That's good for Sonic because this game, when did this release? Was it last year? How long has this game been out? Titles released in okay, it's released in this financial year, but I don't know the date. Not sure the date. And then Persona 5 Royal Remaster, which, as I said, is the multi-platform re-release. It's now over 1.7 million units. So that's not Persona 5 Royal as a total. It's just the it's confusing. It's just the re-release of Persona 5 Royal. So that's including. Because it was also re-released, even though it was already on PlayStation, it was re-released on PlayStation 5 as well. So that's including basically Steam, Xbox, Switch, and PlayStation 5. So, pardon me. So that's assuming that PlayStation 4 is not included in that, because that's not the re-release, the remaster. That's the original release of it. So this is just everything on the. Now, what's interesting about this, and I pointed this out last time we had an update, when we had it got to 1 million very quickly, and Atlas tweeted out at the time, because it wasn't during the financial results season, right? So at the time, Atlas tweeted out that this re-release had sold 1 million. That was a while back, so now it's added an additional 700,000. What we didn't get, when we just saw this with Koei Tecmo, we did not get number of players. This game was in Game Pass, and I think it's still in Game Pass. I don't think it's come out of Game Pass yet. I don't know how long the deal is, like a year, 2 years, or whatever. It's still in Game Pass. There's no number of players. Why did we not get a number of players for Persona 5 Royal? Why have we not got sales? We haven't. Also, they haven't got sales update for Persona 4 Golden or Persona 3 Portable. Where are those? That's not on here, is it? No sales updates for those or players. Even though those games were in Game Pass. No update. Probably because those games, not that they probably didn't sell. Well, I heard actually Persona 3 Portable maybe didn't sell that well. Persona 4 Golden, when it was first released on Steam, sold well, because it was a very cheap price of a game that had been completely inaccessible for like the best part of a decade, and it's a very good critically acclaimed game that was suddenly available. So to not get sales update for those isn't, I wouldn't say it's a reason for concern. It's just they just don't want to talk. They just don't want to announce that, because it's not 1 million, basically, and 1 million sounds much better. So they haven't announced that. But yeah, no number of players, no number of Xbox players for that. And we do often get that for these games that are in Game Pass, which makes me think that they normally do it if it's like a milestone of like above 1 million. For example, we had that when what's it called? Scarlet Nexus, a Bandai Namco game, was put into Game Pass after. It was some time after launch. That game didn't do all that well. But anyway, they put it into Game Pass, and then they announced, oh, it got this much sales and it had this much players, which was over 1 million. I don't remember what it was now. It was over 1 million. I think it was like 1 million sales and then 1 million players, or something. I can't remember. But yeah, it was over 1 million. So do not think 1 million people played that in Game Pass. I'll tell you that. And then it's just some releases that are coming out soon, including Sonic Origins Plus, Etrian Odyssey Collection, Samba de Amigo Party Central, Endless Dungeon. This is one of their. I don't even know what the hell that is. What is that? Is that already out? It says October 19th. Oh no, it's going to come out. This is one of their European studios. I don't know what it is. And then like a Dragon Guide and the Man Who Raised His Name, which is just 2023. So we don't know when that one's coming out. So yeah. So Kike says the previous update was 2.9 million for Frontiers in terms of last quarter. So that was so the game released in November 2022. So in last quarter, so that was up until, so that would have taken us up until December 31st, right, Kike? Basically, if you're saying in terms of last quarter, up to December 31st. So for this quarter, it sold an additional, 400,000? What was it again? 300,000, I guess. It's 3.2 million units now. So yeah, doing pretty well, because this game has only been out for half a year. So I could see this eventually getting to like 5 million, right? It could get to 5 million. Especially if it's when it's discounted in the future, you get to 5 million. Not sure within the year because it's obviously as time goes on, sales slow down. But eventually there will be some discounts, and this could get to 5 million. So good for Sonic and good for Persona 5 Royal Remaster. Because this game is an old game, and yeah, this is just like additional pocket money basically. Okay, so that's that for Sega. Now I'm not going to go over all these numbers and everything because I haven't read through them and prepared them. Has Sega ever said player count numbers? I think they did for, I mean, have they ever done it? Did they not do it for Yakuza? What games have they had in like services or whatever for them to announce that? I guess just Yakuza? Have they ever said player count numbers? It's a good question. Was that Mousy that said that? It's a really good question. I don't know. Even if they hadn't said it, I don't think that's a reason that they have I don't think it's like a policy like, oh, we just never say that. Yakuza, like a dragon. Game Pass? Player numbers? I have no idea. It's just available on there. Subscriptions. Yeah, I remember they said something in like their one of their financial reports. They said it's good, but they haven't said numbers. Yeah, but okay, but that doesn't mean that they have a policy like, oh, we're never going to announce player numbers. And Atlas always does their own thing anyway, so I don't see why that means we wouldn't get player numbers for Persona. Have they? What was the sales numbers of this game? Just like a dragon. What was the sales numbers of it? How many players? Oh no. The big Game Pass. What did it sell? 700,000 copies. What is this site? It must have sold more than that, right? Oh, let me do this. Okay, that's just Japan and Asia. What about the rest of the world? So that's the whole Yakuza series, but that's just all of... Western sales, yeah, well, I can't find any. Okay, you could get rid of this nonsense. Oh, they won't let me look without ad block. Are you kidding me? I need my ad block because you be being bastards. Sorry, I don't mean to swear. Okay. Yakuza Like a Dragon was the most successful title on the series internationally, says Sega's Sushi Itsumi. Or Suji Sutsumi, I meant. What was the numbers? Look, they're talking about ports of Persona 5. That's hilarious. Well, this is back in when? May 2021. I'm putting my ad block back on. I don't care what you say. Yeah, look, they put anti-ad block. Page unresponsive, exit page. Yeah, well maybe there was no player numbers. That doesn't mean that's a blanket thing that we shouldn't get any player numbers, Mouthy. That's not what that means. I see what Sega games have been in Go. What? I see what Sega games are. Kika says, I think it's on their series breakdown on their current report. Oh? Series breakdown? Where is that? Series breakdown. Series breakdown. Where's that? What's this? No, let's just. Oh, hang on. Wait, here we go. Sonic series. Oh no, this is just the whole series though. Like a Dragon series includes Judgment. What is this measure then? So it says 2. So 3 to quarter 4, so 2,830. I'm presuming that's each one's 1,000. What does that mean? 2,000? Oh yeah, it's 1,000 units. So 280,000 then. 283,000 is what Like a Dragon series sold in the financial year 2023. No wait, hang on. Would it be more? Was it? Is that what it means? Kike. Game Pass, sorry, not Go. I see what Sega games have been in Game Pass. All the Yakuza games. And the 3 Persona games that I know of. Oh, and I'll say Judgment, but I can't remember if it was in Game Pass or not. Yeah, this series breakdown just says like it doesn't have like Game Pass or player numbers on it. It's in 1,000 units. So that seems low to me. Each one of those is 1,000? It says 1,000 units. So then it's 283,000. Oh yeah, no, that is right, because if we just worked out Persona was 700,000. That was is that right? Each one of these is 1,000? It must be. This is 1,000 units. Anyway, that's all I can see, and they actually don't tell you all of this. Judgment wasn't. Yeah, okay, wasn't in Game Pass. Okay. What, neither of the Judgment games? The one that came out more recently? Wasn't there either? Pardon me. Oh yeah, so they only tell you certain things. J2 Blue says, dang, someone racing or something. What do you mean? What does that mean? It's dang, someone racing or something. Oh, the motorcycles outside. I couldn't work out what you're talking about. Oh, you heard that? Oh, sorry. Yeah, yeah. Ishin is a remaster. That's true. It's a remaster, it's not in Game Pass. So I guess it just came out. But yeah, there isn't Game Pass numbers here. Free to play. It's free to sales, full game, new titles, repeat titles, and free to play. Download sales ratio. Here's their free to play games. Here's their full game sales. Obviously they had stuff released there, so that's probably last year. But I guess Persona 5 well, no, that must have been in that quarter, right? Like a Dragon come out. The new one. Ishin. And then this is just all of their stuff. And nothing says play numbers. This is like all of their like animation and all this nonsense. Toys. I see nothing about no Game Pass or no player numbers. And you're like I said, it's just some of their stuff is mixed up because it's like everything, all of their whatever entertainment stuff. When you go back here, oh no, these are amusement arcades. Amusement. Consumer full game, new titles, repeat. So no. There's nothing on it. It might be in like the little. It might be in the investor Q&A. Maybe that's what you're thinking of. Like the investor Q&A when they did say something about Game Pass once. Maybe we'll talk about that next week. There wasn't a new game this year. Ishin is a remaster. Yeah, but they count it as a new game, I think, Mousy. I think they count it as a new game. JC Blue Gage says that's a pretty good slogan. So you mean the Koei Tecmo slogan? What was it again? Level up your happiness or something. Is that what it was? There's something cheesy like that, right? Okay, so that's Sega. Now we're going to look at Sony. Oh no, we can't look at that one, damn it. Oh. What the hell? We can't look at that. Okay, so we're going to look at this. We're going to install base. Install base is done something. I'm going to refresh this because they might have updated it. The summary. Here we can see the result for the last quarter. PlayStation 5 hardware. Right here. 6.3 million Q4. Now they did say that their target, I think, was 6.2 million. So this means this is like the highest Q4. Apparently it's the highest Q4 ever. Or Q1, I guess calendar year, like this, yeah. But Q4 financial year, it's the highest one ever of any game company. So that's a huge W because that's a huge number, 6.3 million. That means their total for this financial year was 19.1 million. And their PlayStation Plus and monthly active users has dropped, but PlayStation 5 is not at its peak, or PlayStation Plus is not at its peak, but it's up from the last two quarters. I'm gonna be honest, I can't be bothered to read all this out. let's look about the upcoming forecast, and you'll see for the next financial year, Sony are forecasting 25 million. 25 million, which is huge. It's huge. Huge number. So it'd be, I think, not the highest. I don't know if it'd be the highest ever for any. I don't know what's the record. I don't know. For any like video game hardware, I don't think it's probably not a record. I'm not sure actually, but it would. Well, maybe it is a record. But if it's 25 million, I actually don't know. Maybe someone said there in the chat. Did they say? Yeah, apparently, and that's what I'm annoyed at. Apparently there was a bet. I missed. I did not see this bet. There was an install base bet. That you can bet your install base bucks whether they would achieve this in this quarter. I didn't miss that bet. I didn't see it. I don't know how I missed it. And so I missed my opportunity to win install base bucks. I'm annoyed. But I got some install base bucks back because Sony did not announce the sales of PSVR 2. No sales update at all. Which may mean it sold less than limits. I feel like if it was over 1 million, they would have said. So that was the bet. That was the install base bet that we had, and I got this thing they're saying that give me back my install base bucks. Where is it? Where is this thing I sent? Look. My stick, less than 1 minute, my stick was returned. You won? Kike, don't tell me you are lying. You did not win install base bucks. Did you? How's it everyone's winning install base bucks instead of me? I need to win some. It's ridiculous. Yes, so what happened was I waged 75 install base bucks, right? And what was the, let me see. I don't know how I didn't see. Kike, how did I miss? Why didn't you tell me about that? I see how it is, Kike. So you want to keep all the install base bucks for yourself. You don't want me to give a chance to win. I see how it is. So look, there was this bet. The bet was, what would it sell in launch quarter sales? Launch quarter. So it launched last year, right? No, sorry, not last year. It was this year. No. PSVR 2 launched this year. I don't know why I thought it was last year. It was this year. So there was launch quarter sales bets, right? Where the options were less than 1 million, between 1 million to 1.5 million, 1.5 million to 2 million, and above 2 million, right? So this was, well, it counts as being paid out. It says paid out because it wasn't announced. So therefore, I think that please tell me how to pronounce this. Laos. I can't remember how to pronounce this name. Please tell me. I think just paid out. But basically, it says my install base bucks were returned. It doesn't say that I won anything. So it's like they didn't announce it, so we don't know. Although it says here paid out, so I'm not sure whether they just assumed that it sold less than 1 million. They sold less than 1 million. I feel like if it was like between 1 million and 1.5 million, or 1.5 to 2, they would have said something. I feel like they would have announced that. Kika, get out of here. We're in store based bucks, so don't get out of here. Mousy says, nice. Poor Josie, I'll give you mine if it's legal. You can take all my Monopoly monies. Listen, if I tried to do that, I would be banned from they would ban me from install base. I'd be gaming the system. If I took your install base bucks. I did. I thought you already you really butchered that. No. How would I looked at all the bets. I didn't see any bet there about how they're going to get their launch quarter, whatever. I missed it. Want me to attack him with a Nerf bat too? The key care? Yes, I do. Also, did I miss the Square Enix rant? There wasn't a Square Enix rant. I mean, Jodie's epic Square Enix rants are epic. No, actually, I did say something. I said, oh, what did I say earlier? Oh yeah, they were trying to trick us. Square Enix tried to pull the wool over our eyes and try and pretend that their announcement of Nier Automata selling 7.5 million was a new W. It's not, because it was already announced. We already knew it was over 7 million from last year. So so they recycled the W. They pretended it was a new W. It wasn't. It was an old W that they recycled to try and pretend it was a new W. It's not a new W. And them not having those, what do you call it? The Final Fantasy 16 things available outside of Japan is an L. It'll be a W if it's worldwide, but it's not, so it's an L. That's the way it works. It's an L. Why is it only in Japan? I'm telling you, that is Square Enix's decision. Jodie when she loses her store-based bucks. That is me, but I didn't even lose any because I didn't bet, because I didn't know the bet was there. I didn't know the bet. I've just showed on this bloody meme that you posted. Jodie when she loses her store-based bucks. That was me when I lost it. When I lost the Bayonetta Origins in store-based bucks. That wasn't fair. Now we've established now that was Koei Tecmo's fault. So I think we've established that. So moving forward, Koei Tecmo is to blame. So there we go. Okay. Oh my god! I said I was gonna wrap up this show. Look how it's over 3 hours. Okay, we are going to wrap up. Right, I was going to do the what do I call it? I was going to do the Zelda thing, the Zelda previews, but I won't. Only to say that they all said it was good. They all said it was really good, but there was some that I looked at and said the controls were fiddly. They thought the controls were fiddly. And that's it. It's good. Just, yeah, that's it. Right. The only other thing to say was that along with the good results for Sony of their hardware, their software was maybe not as good. Now, where's that install base thing gone? Let's go back. Install base. So if we look at their software, I believe it was down. Full game software 68 million. First party titles is there, 9.5 million. Full game, wait, hold on. Full game software, that's full game software, PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5. This is first party. What's this bit underneath then? Full game software. Oh, this is just digital ratio. So apparently this is down. The number of games sold is down. Where does it say that? Let's have a look. Oh, maybe it doesn't say it. Okay, so apparently it was down though. Oh my god, somebody tell, I don't have the thing in front of me. It's an L. It won't sell 100k in Japan. What won't? Final Fantasy 16. It will. No Tears of the Kingdom talk. Pink of the King. Because it's because I've been live for Dota Blue. I've been live for 3 hours and I'm starting to fade. And I think there's not really anything to say apart from they all think it looks. They all think it's amazing. They all the people thought it was good, but they just said the only real criticisms I saw was like the control seems fiddly. you know. But that's it. That's all I saw. And anything else I show you is going to be spoilers, or some people are going to say it's spoilers. And I don't want to get into what is a spoilers and what is not a spoilers argument. And I've been live for a very long time, J2. So don't worry, because next week we will do some. We'll have some more topics next week because Golden Week means there's no Famitsu sales, so we won't have any sales to talk about next week. Really? So what are people playing? What, next week? I don't know. What are people playing next week? What are people playing next week? FF16 won't. Won't what? So, it will! I'm not having this discussion anymore. I don't know why you keep saying that. Especially now, they've announced the goddamn bundle! That's a goddamn bundle! How can you launch at less than 100k? No, they literally announced a bundle! Stop it! You put your install base box in your mouth. Actually, no, don't, because if I do that, I will be banned from install base. Because if I do that and I make you bet all your install base bucks, I will be banned. I don't want to be banned from install base. So yeah, apparently the game sales were down, but I can't even see where that was written. I'm too tired to try and find it now. But anyway, let's look at this. What's his face? Right, Takashi Mochizuki from Bloomberg. Basically, it missed the expectations in terms of games. So this is why I was trying to find the number of game sales. Do you have a link to it? Why can't I see it? Why isn't it? Didn't I put it on this little summary? Oh, here we go. It says the fiscal year ended in March 31, 2023. Sales increased 904.8 billion yen, 33% year on year, to 3,644.6 billion yen, an 18% increase on a constant currency basis. This significant increase in sales was mainly due to the impact of foreign exchange rates, an increase in sales of hardware, and an increase in sales of first-party titles. This was partially offset by a decrease in sales of non-first-party titles, including add-on content. Operating income decreased. Okay, so yeah, they're saying that non-first party titles, i.e. third party titles, sales decreased. This decrease was offset by... So they're just talking about, yeah, there was a decrease in the sales. So... Oh my god, if I could look at... I'd have to look at this later when I'm not tired. Full game software. I mean, it's down, but okay, so it's down from the previous financial year. So if we look at financial year 21 here, for the total for the financial year, right, was 303.2 million software unit sales, right? But if we look here, for financial year 2022, for the full year, it's 264.2 million software units. So yeah, it's down by a good bit. I don't know, I can't work out percent off the top of my head, but it's down. So that's what these analysts are talking about. So the hardware is way up. So you see, PlayStation 5 hardware in financial year 21 was 11.5 million, right? So that's what I saw the previous financial year with all the supply constraint issues that there was. Now supply got sorted out at the in Q4. So in Q1, 2 and 3 was still constrained, right? Q4 it kind of got sorted out. It was start beginning in Q3, but you see they stockpile stuff up anyway for the holidays. So that's why it's like 7.1 million in Q3. So then it's up to 19.1 million, but 4Games software is down. And this is including digital, by the way. This isn't like, oh, it's a physical thing. Because you see the digital ratios down here. Right? So the PlayStation 5 hardware went up, way up, and the software sales went down. Now, it's important to note that it's not just, they didn't say just software, they said add-on content as well, which means DLC and microtransactions. So they're saying full game software and add-on content was down. So when we're looking at Mochizuki, where is it now? And I can't look at this article, unfortunately. I can't look at the full article. If someone has a link to that, but it says Sony's outlook on PlayStation business this year missed expectations of analysts. So you think, oh my god, they did so well. What are these stupid analysts talking about? So Toyo Securities, Hideki Yasuda says data show PS5 users are not buying new games are concerning. This is Sing here, but it should be signed for the platform. So just if we look back to what I was referring to, hardware's way up, but software and add-on content, which is DLC, microtransactions, etc., is down. That's what they're referring to. Sony casts doubt on PS5 momentum with disappointing outlook. So you're like, oh, okay, that's ridiculous. How can it be disappointing when the hardware was so high? Because the important things are software sales, software, and obviously the add-on content as well. It's the important thing. So this is why analysts are disappointed. Fortunately, the actual article is paywalled. I cannot see this. It trails off right here, so I can't see that, unfortunately. Yeah, if you need to rest, you need to rest. Thank you. So it's interesting. It's third-party sales. Yeah, the software sales down. Third-party software sales. They said first-party was up, which makes sense because they had new game releases. With oh god, what came out? I've forgotten. God of War Ragnarok and was Gran Turismo this year or was it last year? I can't even remember. When did Gran Turismo? Gran Turismo came out last year, didn't it? Oh my god, see how tired I am. I actually can't remember. Okay, that's it. And what we'll do is we'll save up any like leftover topics. I think I pretty much covered everything. Is there leftover topics? Let me look. Apart from Tears of the Kingdom, so I'll tell you what, let's talk about that next week, because next week will be more hype because it's the week before. Right? It's the week before, so it'll be more hype anyway. So I will do it, we'll cover it next week. Although I don't really want to go into it too much because of spoilers, but if you want to have a discussion, if you want to actually come on to the show, come into the on-air room, come on. Don't be a coward. Come in, on-air room, and come and talk to me. Then we can actually discuss it, spoiler-free discussion. And I think the game's gonna end up leaking soon anyway. So it's going to be like trying to dodge the landmines. But let's bring the show to a close with, and this time I'm going to remember, the Final Fantasy VII Lo-Fi. Let's bring it back. Wait, hang on, which is a good one? Oh, let's have Sephiroth. Sephiroth's theme. Can you hear it? Sephiroth's theme. Is it too loud? How loud is that? I don't know. My thing is like that as well. I've already muted everything on Twitter, but YouTube is a different story. Yeah. The thing that's annoying with YouTube and people putting stuff in thumbnails, you can't. The only way to do that is you have to like fiddle it. There's a way to turn off thumbnails where you have to. It's like turning. It's like It's like you have to turn off an element. Or it's like long. But yeah, people want to be trying to spoil stuff in like YouTube spoil stuff. Yeah, it's happened to me. There's been accounts I've unfollowed because they literally lo-fi Sephiroth. Yeah, let's show the chat the meme before we. So it's this cat, lo-fi Sephiroth. This is what we're ending on. I'll find some. I know Mousy was asking for some, or someone was asking for some Zelda lo-fi. I will find some Zelda that I do with some Zelda lo-fi that I listen to. But I need to listen to it beforehand to know that it's good. I don't know if it's just any old random Zelda lo-fi. It might not be good. So I'll find a good one. I'll try and find the Zelda lo-fi for next week when we get into the Zelda mood. Right, so thank you everyone today for joining me. Let's go for a little roll call. Thank you, Dank Meme Center. I know, Dank Meme. I'm not looking forward to it because I don't want to stay off the internet completely, obviously, because I'm a normal human being. But the leaks are just. I was thinking, right, or what I was rather hoping was, and I don't think Nintendo's going to do this because like it's like they don't care that much. They don't want to. It would. Okay, so basically, I don't know if you remember this. When Kingdom Hearts 3 came out, they didn't put like the full. There was like a full thing they didn't put on the disc or something like that. And it was a day one patch where they put the true ending or something on the disc. Or they did something like that. Am I just like tripping? Didn't they do something like that for Kingdom Hearts 3 where they had they patched it on day one so it didn't leak? Am I tripping? I swear they did that. What is that you've put on there? Hey, Link. Where my child support? Well, he's just magic's away. Okay. Didn't they do something like that for Kingdom Hearts 3? I swear they did. Yeah, I was like, the only thing you could do was do it so that it's on the cartridge, but in order to play it requires a day one patch. But they're not going to do that because Nintendo doesn't want it to leak, but they don't care that much to annoy people that like want the full game on the thing. But it's going to be inevitable if there's going to be day one patches anyway. But anyway, that's what I think. Okay, so let's wrap this up. So thank you to Dank J2 for coming through, Game Killer, Ethan Joy, Zombie Tech Pad, Mousy, Keycare, and I believe Vinnie Max was here earlier. Thank you all for coming through. It's great to have you all here, even if all of you were just. Oh, was it? J2 Brungo says, I think they put out a statement about the links for Kingdom Hearts 3. I thought they had, there was some patch or something on the disc, and they patched. Yeah, they patched in the secret endings. Yes, it was something like that. I knew it was something like that. They patched in the secret endings for Kingdom Hearts 3 because they didn't want it to leak, right? That was it, because they didn't want it to leak. Am I tripping? They didn't want it to leak. Mousy's typing. Does she know? Mousy, do you know? They patched in the secret endings for Kingdom Hearts 3. Yes. Okay. So this is the game over music. So whilst the game over music's playing, let's remember this time to use the stream ending. no leaks. Yes, they patched in the endings, wasn't it? Now see, why did you put that wave in over there? Ray Lucci is here. Ray Lucci, who's Ray Lucci? Hi Ray Lucci. I think Ray Lucci's from Twitter. I believe there's someone I talked to. I think it's called Ray Lucci. Welcome Ray Lucci to the Discord. Was you here? If you was here, you missed the fun. If you wasn't here, you missed the fun. But yeah, they could do something like that where they patched it in so it worked, but they're not going to do that because they don't care enough. They're not that. They don't want it to leak, but they're not like that bothered, you know. So yeah. Thank you everyone, and we'll catch you on the next show. Bye bye.